Instead, we are going to talk about SmackDown first because it was a fucking, I was going to say horrible show, and it was very
Parts
horrible.
of it were very horrible.
But there was some good stuff on this show. They were hidden gems on this show. Things you would not expect unless you had access to the quick rewind button, the slow motion button,
The frame-by-frame button.
the pause button, and that sort of thing. So it opened up with Fit Finlay versus William Regal for the U.S. title, which was a fine little encounter, but nobody gave a rat's ass. They were silent throughout this match, except when the midget appeared, at which point they went crazy momentarily and then immediately died again. And today's trivia note, I do not know if this is true, but I was told yesterday that the man who came up with the idea of Nick Dinsmore being retarded and being Eugene was Fit Finlay.
Really?
Yeah.
I always just assumed it was Nick Dinsmore.
No. I guess that was fitting. I guess it makes sense, though, since he was a road agent and that sort of thing, and he loved Nick Dinsmore, and he wanted to find some way to get him on TV, and God knows there probably would have been better ideas, but that was the one that worked.
Yeah.
That was the one that worked. So normally I don't want you to speak, and or normally I try and limit the amount of speaking you do, and that will be, my efforts will be double tonight, because the frog in your throat is it's driving me crazy.
Shut up!
But we'll try and get maybe some comments in here or there, but I won't rely on you this evening.
Mm-hmm.
You sound horrifying. Can't you drink some water?
Is that any better?
That's a little bit better.
All right.
But you need to go vomit?
No.
Fit Finlay and William Regal, talk about the match.
It was a fine little encounter, as you so recently said.
You know, you on this show tonight is like SmackDown. Initially, I was like, I'm not going to be able to handle this all night tonight. These sound fucking horrible. This is terrible. Now I want you to do the entire show solo.
Well,
that was your cue, by the way.
It was. That was you giving me the office, as they say. It was every Regal Finlay. I was just every Regal Finlay match we've seen in the past 2 weeks. Two guys who are really good, beating the crap out of each other, and the 10% of the world who enjoys it a lot, and the other 90% don't give a shit. And they care about the midget, and they care about Lashley, and that's about all.
You know what I notice is sometimes I just don't listen to you.
I would say that only, to be fair, that only happens when I'm talking.
Yeah. But, no, actually, it's to be fair when you're talking about something that I feel you're just not going to add any input to.
Then why do you have me talk?
Well, because I'm
really curious at this point.
Because I'm giving you the office. I'm giving you a chance to shine on the show. You know what I mean?
But then you don't care about me shining. Or you have no faith in me to shine, and so you tune out.
Well, no, I did not explain the Finlay match, so I allowed you to explain it. But it wasn't like you were going to say anything I didn't know. So I just sort of was thinking about other things at the time. I just let you do your job, and you should actually take it as a compliment.
I see.
I had enough faith in you to not fuck anything up and to be largely accurate that I didn't feel I needed to listen to it.
You tune out and say, Vince will take care of this, he'll be okay.
Exactly. That's what I did.
That makes sense.
I do that often.
Well, I have no
The only
idea
time I really listen to you is when you say something that I expect to upset me and that I can yell at you about.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm honest about it, you know? But that was a compliment. I took faith that you would not screw up the Regal Finlay match.
No one please email him and tell him how bad I screwed that up.
Yeah, you could actually.
That could have been a disaster.
It could have been
what
a rib.
I just said could have been a horrible, horrible audio moment.
But if it was, everyone would just yell at you. So, you know, Elijah Burke came out with his man Sylvester Turkey, and Turkey, of course, had a match last week, an MMA gimmick match, and it was not particularly good. So this week he was in the ring with a young man, Scott Wright, and I guess the idea was Scott Wright was too small. He was not in the weight division of Sylvester Turkey. And so Elijah Burke took his place, and Elijah Burke had the match. And I have many things to say about this, so luckily for you, you don't have to say anything for a little while. In fact, just to be safe. I don't want a frog to interrupt this thing, so you just hang out there for a second. First thing I got to say is Michael Cole is the biggest fucking moron there is on this earth. And I noticed that many times during this show, but I don't know if it's what I think it was or not. But when Elijah Burke came out, he introduced Sylvester Turkey as hailing from Big Bear, California. And of course, Big Bear is the big fucking mountain that everybody trains on. They run up and down the hill, the high elevation. Tito's there, Quentin Jackson was there, tons of fighters there training for fights. And in the middle of the match, I don't know what the deal was, but Cole referred to Sylvester Turkey as a big bear. And I thought, okay, are you just fucking stupid? Or did this go over my head? Or are you saying he's a big bear from Big Bear? Is this like Pound and Ground? What the fuck is this? So anyway, that annoyed me. That was the first of many Michael Cole moments during this show. The Big Bear, Sylvester Turkey. Yeah. So then, the other thing is, whatever happened to the good old days when you had a guy debut or a team debut, and they vanquished foes in a matter of seconds, just destroyed them? Whatever happened in those days? Now you've got poor Elijah Burke, who's a hell of a talker, fine wrestler. He's nothing exceptional or anything like that. He's still green, but he's fine in the ring. And you go out there, and he's with this big Sylvester Turkey, and they're in the ring with Scott Wright. They're not in the ring with Scotty Too Hottie even, or Funaki. They're in with a total jobber that nobody's ever seen before. So why the fuck would you take a guy that you know nobody's going to care about because they've never seen him before? They don't know who Elijah Burke is. They don't give a shit about him or Sylvester Turkey. Why do you take that guy and put him in the ring with Scott Wright and go, you dude's got 6 minutes? That's fucking monkeys put this thing together. In fact, that's an insult to monkeys, because monkeys would probably have done a better job. You would have said, how long do you want this to go? And they would have made a monkey noise, and that would have indicated 1 minute, which is how long this fucking match should have gone. It went 6 minutes. There were like 2 chin locks. The crowd, which already was not going to give him a chance, totally shed all over this match. It was just horrible. Why the fuck would you do that?
This is the part,
I don't know. Oh, sorry.
This is the part where you play the fucking so retarded drop. I don't know either. You watch the Road Warriors DVD, and there's about 30 matches on there, and 20 of them go 20 minutes total.
Yes.
It's just them killing men.
Well, even then, I mean, that was...
I preached, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. I requested more squash matches on TV, and now I know why we have not seen them. They've forgotten how to do it.
Well, it's not even just that. It's especially on a debut.
Yeah. This is...
They did it with a tag match later on with Idol and Casey James. Nobody gives a flying fuck about either guy because nobody knows who they are. And they put them with their Scotty Too Hottie and Funaki and have them go 6 minutes. Hey guys, have a competitive match. People will care. Yeah, no one gave a shit about that match. And they fucked up the finish. But we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Office.
Back to Elijah and stuff. Yeah, I now know why they forget. They banned the squash match because they forgot how to do it, and they tried to do one and it failed. Squash matches don't go 6 minutes. Squash matches
try to do one. When did they try and do one that failed?
Tonight, Elijah and Scott Wright.
No, that didn't fail because I don't even count that as a squash match. It went 6 minutes.
I see.
A squash.
That's my point.
I wasn't listening again. What was your point again? Just try it one more time. No, I want to listen this time. I don't know what I was thinking about. I was getting ready to just unleash on something.
Okay, I've calmed down a little. I remember once they did a squash match on Raw or SmackDown. I forget what it was, but I said that was great. They should do at least one of these every week. I heard
this part.
Yes.
Okay. What was the point though?
The point was the reason they stopped doing it was they forgot how to do them.
I see.
Let's just move on.
Was that? Do you actually think they've forgotten how to do squash matches? Because I would have to disagree.
Well,
the Angle Challenge.
Okay.
Those were awesome squash matches.
That was a year ago.
And when Blaster Lashley did his for a while there.
Okay, then
I think the answer is just they're stupid.
All right.
They haven't forgotten how to do them. They're just stupid. That's
Fine.
the answer.
Okay. We're arguing semantics, really, is the funny thing.
I never argue semantics, only facts. So then we had, the pie. It was time for Diva Search bullshit. All the girls had to come out, and it was a deal where they believe they're just going to be cutting a 30-second promo about why they should be allowed to be the diva or win the contest or whatever. And 10 seconds in, somebody puts a pie in their face to get their reaction. Miz said this is to prove them that anything can happen in WWE. They were all horrible with 2 exceptions, and I'm just going to rush right to them. First off, was it you that said Jen's going to win this thing? She's so fucked, dude.
I'm sure I did at some point.
If she's not eliminated Monday, I'll just be...
Oh, no. Erica's eliminated Monday.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'll tell you why. Okay, Erica's the teacher. That's the comedy. Erica's a teacher. I don't know what she teaches. I would not entrust small children with her because I don't know what she could possibly teach them. And that actually goes double for anybody over 6th grade. I don't know what she could possibly teach. She can't even string a sentence together. It was so bad, but she's got giant heaving breasts that pop out.
She does have those.
And there may have been nipple showing, the slight edges. This fucking shirt was so far open. And this girl is going to go to the end. I assure you. I don't know. And the reason I say that is because everybody has known she is stupid from day one, and she's still there. So I think after all these years, the WWE fans are just ready for a stupid blonde. Seriously. We haven't had one in a while. We had the crazy redhead. We had the wacky skater chick with 18 different colors in her hair. Now we just need a really dumb blonde.
A dumb blonde.
And I guarantee the last two in this contest are going to be JT Titty and the school teacher. I guarantee it.
You've had many theories dumber than the dumb blonde theory.
And I can also tell you that on Monday, Jen is going to be eliminated. The following Monday, Layla is going to be eliminated. And that will leave the school teacher and JT Titty.
You're forgetting Milena.
Oh, Milena. She will probably be third. She'll be third. I don't think she's gonna beat the dumb blonde, but we shall see. But anyway, the only two good ones were Layla, who no-sold the pie. She was in the middle of her speech. The pie whacked into her face, and she just kept talking.
Yes.
And then began rubbing the pie all over her body. That saved her from being eliminated Monday.
Yes.
Jen was just so stupid and talking about how...
I actually wanted them to let Jen finish because for the second week in a row, she started talking about how no one could duplicate her.
I
want to know her theory.
I will recap what she said. She said a true diva was original, and she had original ideas from week to week and never had to imitate anyone. And I was like, you're even more generic than the dumb blonde. At least her gimmick is she's dumb. You're just a normal blonde that looks like everyone else. And I don't know how you've made it this far. She's next.
And I just want to know who is duplicating her.
The greatest of all was JT Titty. They started at 30 seconds, and I don't know if it was a rib. I'm thinking it was a rib. I really do. She just stood there looking at the camera. And she looked at the camera, and the clock just tick, 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 7 fucking seconds just staring at the camera. And then suddenly, the epiphany. Her brain turned on. She was like, oh, sorry. And as soon as the sorry came out, pie. She was attacked by pie. And I know that 2 weeks ago, I praised Crystal. She's already fallen off the totem pole. JT Titty is the hottest girl in this company. Because that 7 seconds when she was just staring at the screen, smiling, I was mesmerized. I could not take my eyes off her. I was like, my God, that is a beautiful woman. And I could have watched her for 2 hours just staring at the screen. And it would have been better than this show. You cannot deny that.
No, it's 100% true.
She's winning. Unquestionably, she's winning. And if not, I will weep. And actually, I don't even care, because if she gets eliminated, she'll just get signed like the other 3 divas already have. So, yeah.
When she was staring at the camera, and about 6.5 seconds in, her eyes shifted 1 degree to the left, looking at whoever was over there, and you could actually see the wheels in her head turning. And if you've ever had an old car or an old truck where you turn the key and it won't quite turn over,
don't you make fun of JT Titty.
That's what was going on inside her head. You could see the gears wanted to turn, but they just couldn't get going. And then finally she got ready, and the engine was started, and then they hit her with a pie.
I may turn you down here in a minute. Stop insulting her.
I am stating
she had
facts.
Been ribbed. She had been ribbed. They go, all right, we'll tell you when to go. Just stand right there. And they just stood there and looked at her and rolled the camera. And then someone probably gave her the big wink.
No, you know what probably happened? Someone off camera couldn't take it anymore and started to laugh.
That also could.
And then she figured it out. If they hadn't laughed, hadn't said anything, she'd have stood there for 3 hours.
JT Titty will win, unquestionably.
You know, I mentioned that like 2 weeks ago when you laughed at me.
I profusely apologize if that's the case. I don't believe it, but if it is, Ashley faced Crystal in an epic match, epically bad.
The highlight of this, about a minute in, Brian screamed to no one in particular, "This is horrid." And I swear to God, as soon as he said this, it actually got significantly worse.
This was so bad.
Oh, my God.
Crystal won, pulling the tights. And this was the worst SmackDown ever so far. And no sooner do I write that than out came the fucking Indian and the Frenchman. Their feud must continue. In fact, the best part about this is the Indian failed his peyote test, or whatever it was, and he's still on the road. Why? Because they had to finish out this feud with the Frenchman.
They couldn't leave.
They could not let it go. No stone unturned.
The fans demanded a finish to the Sylvan Tatanka War.
That's right. And not only did this war end, the Indian won.
So, yes, now he's going to sit at home while the Frenchman, who has just lost, is still out there.
If anybody has any objections to me calling him the Indian, first off, don't, okay? Number one, as a Mexican, as a man whose ancestors came over the land bridge, I am both Indian and Asian. Did you know that?
Technically speaking.
I'm going all the way back. So I am allowed to call him the Indian and not necessarily the Native American. And the other reason that I call him the Indian is because he is, in fact, in WWE portrayed as an Indian.
I would disagree with that. In WWE, he is portrayed as an Injun.
May very well be portrayed as an Injun. The most stereotypical, wacky cartoon character Indian you've ever seen in your life. And the next time Michael Cole tries to give us a fucking social studies lesson
he went off on a rant about the buffalo, how important it was to Indian culture, and he finished, and even JBL said that was a great soliloquy.
He's such a fucking idiot. He's
sitting there just with the encyclopedia.
That's what drives me crazy about Michael Cole. At least like Jim Ross, when Jim Ross is spouting out history something, I don't care if he went on the Observer side or he went wherever and got the information. You believe when he talks that he knows what the fuck he's talking about. You really get that impression that he actually knows what he's talking about. Never, ever do you get that impression when you're listening to Michael Cole speak.
Michael Cole
He's always reading from a cue card.
He's reading from a cue card and not reading notes. He's reading sentences.
No, he's like a fucking mannequin.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get it. I think he thinks like, and he does, because him and Taz Roy's very upset. We're the B team. Well, you know what? You suck. You should be on the ECW show, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Or you should be doing Deep South. You are, in fact, better than the fucking...
Michelle McCool.
No. I'd rather listen to Michelle McCool, to be honest with you. That, at least, is 2 hours of comedy. Cole is 2 hours of annoyance. The fucking Freakin' Deacon. I will admit Michael Cole is better in commentary than the Freakin' Deacon. But that's as far as I'll go.
What about Nigel from Deep South?
No, Nigel. I'd rather listen to Nigel. Nigel doesn't piss me off. He doesn't annoy me. Cole just annoys me. Just annoys the shit out of me. Anyway, Batista faced Ken Kennedy. The show got even worse. It turned into a okay match. It turned into the best match of the three that they've done, which is saying so little.
About 1.5 stars, then?
It's horrible. The only thing I'll say about this is there's a lady at the post office that always gives me stamps. I've mentioned her before. Big fan of Batista. She was always asking, when's Batista coming back? Oh, he'll be back soon. Always asking me questions about wrestling. The other day, she was appalled because she'd seen Batista on ECW. And I'd go, it's only a one-night deal. Don't worry. He's not going ECW. She was very concerned. But anyway, the point of this is, before she mentioned this, she just made the offhand remark, I don't watch much wrestling anymore. And I thought, there you go.
That's everyone.
Another hardcore fan giving up on them.
Driven away.
Just the mediocrity that is SmackDown. And it sort of made me sad. Because she was always I would be buying stamps and she'd sort of get down low and kind of whisper, because she didn't want the other postmasters to hear her talking about wrestling. And she always wanted to make sure the window was open so I could come up and she could ask wrestling questions. She was always asking different...
She's reading your newsletter, other people's copies of your newsletter, wasn't she?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine with that, you know?
Sure.
Unless, of course, you got it late, in which case I'm appalled. But she was always asking these questions and that sort of thing. And I just felt bad that there was another one, just such a big fan. She was such a big fan for so long, and now she just doesn't watch much anymore.
Just doesn't care.
Just doesn't care. And there's a story there, but... That's the biggest story of this whole Brian and Vinny show, and I don't know if anyone will understand it, but that is. Vito faced the Brooklyn Brawler.
Speaking of being driven away.
I cannot believe what a horrendous fucking show this was.
It was awful. Just without anything good.
Vito won, and Kurt Angle had a much better match with the Brooklyn Brawler.
Well, wow.
JT.
Thank you, Nostradamus.
Oh, we already talked about JT Titty. I'd talk about her again if I really wanted to.
Go for it.
She's hot.
Okay.
Scotty Too Hot. She's a mom.
Really?
That's what somebody told me. I don't know this.
Does that make her more or less hot to you?
I don't even know if that's her. I think I mentioned JT Titty, and somebody goes, "That's the MILF." It's like, it is? If she's a mom, oh, mama. Yeah.
That is the kind of wit your people are paying for. If she's a mom, oh, mama.
Yep. I'm here every night.
Try the veal.
Then we had Scotty Too Hottie and Funaki versus Casey James and Aaron Stevens. I touched on this briefly. Sucked. Aaron Stevens will be 200 pounds within 8 weeks or less. And the highlight of the show, really up to this point, they cut backstage and there was London and Kendrick watching on. Brian Kendrick was in a fighting stance. He was ready to...
He was braced to strike.
He was ready for whatever the fucking head ref in UFC.
Big John McCarthy.
He was ready for Big John McCarthy to go, let's get it on with this TV.
I fully expected him to drop kick the television set.
He was wearing a purple shirt and black trousers, and he was in a fighting stance. And next to him was Paul London. And, when Paul London debuted, he had a short haircut, and he was very normal looking, and I think people discovered he was Hispanic. They're like, Paul London's of Hispanic descent or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe it was Hispanic something. And let me tell you something. He was he was native in this. Oh, here we go. There's another one. I stopped at that time. Oh, come on, please. He was. Are you done? All right. He looked like a Native American, not an Indian.
What the hell is going on over there?
I believe it has stopped.
This is so irritating.
Okay, hold on a second. All right. Anyway, I've totally lost my train of thought.
London.
Paul London was looking like a Native American this evening. He had the long black hair, and he was wearing this outfit.
It had a lot of brown.
It was that might have been the other thing. It was very earthy. There were very earthy colors here. He's wearing a brown button-up shirt with a brown undershirt underneath it, and brown pants with yellow pinstripes. Am I exaggerating any of this?
You have described this with 100% accuracy.
And he was looking at Brian Kendrick as if to say, And he scratched his head. How many times did we watch this?
7 or 8.
We just paused it and looked at them and laughed.
Laughing harder and harder each time. They had taken the time to hang the tag team belts on the coat hanger behind them, or the coat rack, and they were just watching the tag match.
It's one of my favorite things about wrestling. It's just one of those moments with two people behaving as real people in real life would never behave.
Yes.
Ever in a million years. And that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Chavo come out. This was appalling, but it was funny because here's the deal. The reason Chavo hates Ray is because Ray is now a symbol for the cocksucker that is Vince McMahon.
Yep.
That's
it. 100% right.
That is the entire gimmick now. And in a way, it made me chuckle. Just that it's...
Chavo is offended.
He's offended
by the exploitation of Eddie Guerrero's death for the past 6 months, really.
And Rey Mysterio's to blame.
And Rey Mysterio is the scapegoat.
Yes.
That is the angle.
Yes. That is just unabashed.
This is... I know I'm a dick, and I'm going to make a storyline around it.
So months back, I had been warned that the Eddie Guerrero stuff was only going to get worse. And around WrestleMania, there was the big backlash, and so it sort of it tapered out, or it tapered down. Oh, it's back with a vengeance.
God.
Vicky Guerrero is now involved. She is going to try and be the peacemaker between Ray and Chavito, and it will all suck, kids.
There's a scene here where Vicky Guerrero was standing between her dead husband's nephew and her dead husband's best friend, trying to stop them from fighting as the crowd chanted her dead husband's name, and I thought, okay, this is the weirdest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
And the thing is, it's only going to get worse for forever, because it really hit me during this segment that December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's been 9 months. It's been 9 months since Eddie Guerrero died, and he is still a focal point of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be 2015, and there will be Eddie Guerrero angles. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I feel like Dave 10 years ago when he goes, are we still going to be hearing about Montreal in 10 years? And then a couple of months later, he realized we're going to be hearing about this for the rest of our lives.
For 100 years.
We're going to be hearing about Eddie Guerrero for the rest of our lives. It will never end. The entire McMahon family will have to have passed on. The Empire will have to be in ruins. And I'm speaking the WWE Empire, not this Empire. I do not expect this Empire to end up in ruins. Unless it's a fire I start by myself as I fiddle. And we will be hearing about it forever. Ever.
Yep.
I just want you all to know that. So
enjoy.
You will all soon be joining the lady at the post office. You just don't watch much wrestling anymore. But that's fine. We're here to watch it for you. Main event was Undertaker and Booker T, and it was boring.
It was very, very boring.
All I could think was there an angle setting this match up?
No.
Was there an interview segment?
They talked to Booker backstage briefly as
on this show. I'm talking last week.
No, nothing.
So just out of nowhere, they decided Undertaker's going to make a rare SmackDown appearance for a world title shot.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. This was the stupidest show I've ever seen in my whole life. Horrible, man.
The truth is, there were only 2 segments of the show we enjoyed. They were the Diva Search segments. So all of you bagging the Diva Search can stop now because the Diva saved the show. And the tag match, where the biggest thing was London and Kendrick laughing at Michelle McCool to ring intros and their sweet, sweet music.
You're just a mark for that bullshit music. It sucked. The only reason you like the music is because they're doing an 80s tag team gimmick, and so they've got an 80s guitar riff.
Yeah.
When you were marking out, I was like, what a dork. That was my first thought.
I don't care.
So
it's a great song.
It's your own fault that I called you a fucking dork, because you didn't have to bring that up. But the only good part about Michelle McCool is she can't help but look at herself on the Titantron the entire time. That's always a good one. At least Shawn Michaels did it as a heel to get heat. She fucking just does it.
She's so wretched.
We don't need to get into Michelle McCool. So anyway, finish was Great Khali running in for the DQ, giving Taker the judo chop. Taker fought back and then challenged him to last man standing. And of course that led Michael Cole to, or I believe JBL actually. Who can say it? He can get away with it because you know he's full of shit. He was like, if there's one match wrestling fans have been clamoring for, it's The Undertaker versus the Great Khali. In a strange way, he's right, but that was SmackDown. Well, SmackDown, what we saw of it.
It's all downhill from here.
Show opened with a Great Khali coming out, and sadly he didn't speak. This was the first moment of the evening that you were really an idiot. You were like, God, Great Khali's got a giant chin. Did you not see the forehead?
Well, that too.
His forehead sticks out so far that you could balance a wine glass on it. Everyone makes fun of Triple H's forehead. Triple H's forehead has nothing on the Great Khali's forehead.
No, he's a fucked up dude.
People make fun of Christy Hemi's forehead. They call
That's
it her
appalling to me.
5 head, I believe they call it.
Please.
He's got a 10 head.
Yes.
This fucking forehead sticks out so unbelievably far. It's like a Pinocchio nose on his forehead. And I cannot believe you didn't notice that. It stuck out to me like a fucking beacon.
Well, his chin is just as big.
No.
Oh, God.
Well, dude, everybody... Jay Leno has a big chin.
Not like this.
No.
There was a moment
this guy's got a forehead like a primitive man. And
he is.
How you could not notice that, it just appalled me.
There's your next poll. Which is bigger, Khali's forehead or chin?
Which is more absurd, his forehead or his chin?
Fine.
That's the question.
Fair question.
And they'll answer his forehead.
When was the last time you won a poll?
Unless a bunch of Neanderthals are on the board or something of that nature. Then we had some bullshit, the first of much, with Chavo, Vicky. This stuff is so bad. I don't even...
I'm wondering who they think is sitting at home saying, you know where I like to spend my Friday night? I want to watch a widow crying because her husband's gone. That's entertainment. That's a good time.
She was crying to Chavo about this fight with Ray, And Ray was saying, Vicky had not been born a Guerrero, but she was a Guerrero just like everyone else. We are familia. Ray, however, is not. And shit.
Bullshit.
Just shit.
Crap.
Hurricane faced the Indian. I'm trying to figure out what's up with the Indian. In fact, that's my vow for this weekend. I will find out why he's still on TV.
There's your goal.
That is my goal. He lost, but his foot was under the ropes. They had to protect the fucking Indian.
Oh, yeah, because the Indian's a big star. You can't have him losing all the time. Come on now.
Why?
I don't know.
And then he argued with the ref, and it led to nothing.
That's right, because we started to fast forward, and one of us said, hey, he's got the ref. And so we went back to see him beat up the ref, and he didn't. He just yelled at him for like a minute.
Yeah. So that was bad. They did get into the comeback, though. I will say that. They got into the Indians' comeback, so that's got to get a thumbs up. Teddy Long met with Daivari and announced that Khali Undertaker would not be happening at SummerSlam. It would be happening next week on television. By the way, Undertaker chokeslammed the great Khali.
Yeah.
And Vince freaked out. But why?
Well, because that was... no, as silly as it sounds, no one had taken Khali off his feet yet, or at least not thrown him around. No one had slammed him or anything. And this is it. This is the one big move, and they just did it in the SmackDown opener, so we'd totally forgotten. And if they had saved it, they could have done it in the match next week, and it would have been something cool. But no, now it's just there.
Well, they'll probably try and tombstone him next week.
No.
Yeah.
Well, even JBL caught on because he suddenly tried to throw it up as like this didn't have the hype of Hogan slamming Andre, but it was just as meaningful. And it was like, no, nice try, John, but it's not. They just wasted it.
You actually initially said they gave it away for free on TV, which made no sense because everything involving Great Khali will now be given away for free on TV.
That's right.
He's been banned from pay-per-views due to shittiness.
And even on TV, only on the taped shows.
I believe this may be the first man in history, actually.
Think about that. Banned from live TV.
Banned from live television, yes.
And in a weird way, it's almost an incentive to buy tickets. Because to see Great Khali screw up, you now have to buy one.
Yes.
You can't see him screw up anymore for free.
No, you must pay to see.
Your ass has to be in a seat.
You must pay to see fuck-ups. Idol and Casey James faced Brian Kendrick and Paul London. This match was fine.
There's nothing wrong
with it. This is the first thing close to a good match on the show. They did your basic tag stuff, that sort of thing. And Idol ended up pinning Kendrick using the tights. Basic tag team match, basic tag team booking. Title, the champions lost a non-title match, so it was good stuff. Then we had the true greatest moment on the show, the Diva Surge.
Yes.
They announced that Luke Perry was in the building. He's apparently from, where were they, Nashville?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. By the way, he came out looking like a Nashville, Tennessee native. The years have not been kind to Luke Perry.
90210 was a long time ago.
That is the curse of being a teen idol. You only get uglier.
Well, he was also a teen idol. I think he was in his 30s on that show.
Still, that's the point. So he came out, and life had been rough for him, and then he was immediately put in a deal with Crystal and Ashley, and he aged 10 years before our eyes. So then they all came out for the Diva Search, and he came out as host, and within a minute, I felt horrible for every negative thing I'd ever said about Luke Perry. He had more charisma than everyone on the show put together.
Yeah.
He schooled The Miz.
Oh, God.
And he helped make this segment great.
Those of you who saw the Buffy the Vampire Slayer film know how great Luke Perry is. And he was the only thing...
Which would be no one listening to this right now, but go on.
It's possible. Regardless, yes, you know how great Luke Perry is and how great he was in this segment. It would not be a surprise to you. But regardless, it was great. And there was more. Luke Perry was not the only thing on SmackDown worth talking about.
Well, talk then.
Well, then. They were giving the Divas were doing a talent contest tonight, and Luke Perry was there in theory to be the judge. And we found out exactly how not talented 75% of the remaining divas are. Jen's talent was, they had Josh there. Josh from Tennessee was his name. He was some goof apparently pulled from the crowd and given some kind of martial arts pads.
Kick pads.
Sure. And so the divas are given 1 minute to show their talent. And Jen exhausted her talent of kicking in about 16 seconds.
Well, let me explain something. I don't know if they told the divas how long they were going to have. I assumed 20 seconds max. Apparently, Jen thought that she was going to get 20 seconds because she was done in 15 seconds, at which point Miz goes, "You've got 45 more seconds."
Yep.
And she was fucked.
She was fucked. She tried to cut a promo. It did not work. The crowd hated her, and that was the end. And Luke Perry the whole time was having a ball. He kind of knew that this was the lamest entertainment thing he'd ever done in his career, so he just rolled with it, just had fun.
And it was great.
It was great. So Layla was next. Layla had her minute, and Layla danced. And as we've noted, Layla was a pro dancer, so she did fine. She had a whole...
Well, except for the point
that's
you're forgetting.
Right. We're skipping something that Jen did. Jen, how did I forget about this? Jen, after doing the ass-kicking, then tried to do a Steve Austin impression. This was a horrible idea. She stole Austin's catchphrases. She poured beer all over herself and all over the ring. She talked about Jen Wisers, and the crowd's reaction was, "You are not Steve Austin, and we hate you." So
the crowd's reaction, to be specific, was... So
yes, there's your key to everyone when pressing crowds. Don't remind them of someone cooler than you.
So Layla was dancing.
Layla was dancing, and almost immediately she slipped in the beer and stumbled, but she pulled herself together, and she continued her routine, and everything was going along fine. And then with about 15 seconds to go, she picked up a half-empty beer can and chucked it over her shoulder in the general direction of Jen's head, and it went flying past this woman into the crowd. Hope everyone's okay back there. But her routine ended, and then Jen and Layla got into a scrap. They got into a scuffle. That was...
Well, they started bitching at each other, and then I believe Jen tried some sort of takedown, which failed miserably. They both fell down and began rolling, and Miz was like, "We should probably break them up." And Luke
Perry was like, "Let him go."
No, Luke Perry actually slid in to count a pin.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Like the best referee on all of SmackDown. And then he jumped up, and he was having the time of his life. And then Miz was actually, after about 10 seconds, he was, I believe, starting to get concerned. He goes, "Okay, grab that one right there." And they pulled him apart, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, they were pissed. So up next was Milena, who was wearing a full gi. She announced that she was going to show off her mixed martial arts skills. She immediately removed the gi. I guess this is supposed to be sexy. It failed. She put Josh from Tennessee in a cross arm breaker, I think.
She tapped him out in 5 seconds.
Yeah. And Miz says, "You've got 50 seconds to go."
Well, 55, Vince. She tapped him out in 5 seconds. 55 seconds left. Because 5 and 50 is only 55.
Hey, you're right.
55 and 5 is 60.
Thank you, Matt Stryker.
So what did she do for 55 seconds?
Really awful dancing?
No, she did nothing. She stood there and soaked in the booze for 55 seconds, and it eventually just began telling everybody, "I know you hate me. I don't care. I love you."
Yes, that was the kicker. That was her capper line. So now the crowd was booing miserably. The crowd hated her. This was the act JT Titty had to follow.
Let me tell about JT Titty. I'm cutting you off here.
That's all she had to do was be better than Milena.
JT Titty came out, and she should have won because she was wearing a belt with a scrap of cloth covering her vital area and nothing else.
Yeah.
As close to... I figured her talent's got to be dancing because she's dressed like a stripper.
Sure.
So she comes out and she goes, "I like to write poems."
Yes.
Poems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she proceeded to begin reciting a poem that she had written. And I believe it was running down the other girls and talking about how great she was, but you couldn't hear because of the vociferous booing. She read her poem for about 30 seconds and then just completely forgot it. And stood there red-faced. The other girls started laughing and yelling at her, and she couldn't even trash talk.
Nope.
She was trying to remember her lines and repeating lines over and over again. And for 40, it was the most embarrassing 40 seconds I think I've ever seen in my life.
Time stood still.
Sadly, JT Titty will be eliminated on Monday.
It hurt to watch, but my God, I was laughing. Somewhere, John Heidenreich is sitting at home saying, "See, it's hard."
Luke Perry was supposed to pick the winner, but instead he pulled the crowd. Every girl was booed thunderously, except Layla, who was cheered literally like Steve Austin in his hometown.
Really? Yeah.
Well, no. But she was cheered very, very loudly, so she may actually win.
She's going to. The crowds figure out at some point, you know what?
Now that I've looked at the other girls, she's going to win.
Yeah. When the crowds, I think, has figured out, we have to see whoever wins this thing every week.
Yeah.
They should be able to do something.
Yes.
And Layla's the only one who can do anything.
Yes.
So there you go. Layla is your 2006 Diva Search winner.
Worst talent contest. And as God is my witness, and Vince will back this up, I voted for the first time ever. I voted.
did.
I voted for Luke Perry.
You spent $1 to vote for Luke Perry as the winner of this segment.
And they immediately sent me a text message back which said,
We do not. Oh, you wrote it down?
Yeah, I wrote it down here. Sorry, we don't understand your message. Please check the keyword. So maybe it's LOOK. I don't know. But anyway.
I'm telling you, they only accept Luke Perry if you include the tilde bang.
Well, I should have done that.
But again, for those of you who hate the Diva Search, well, it was the only thing on the show worth watching, second week in a row.
And then we had a shitty segment with Ray and Vicky.
More bullshit.
More bullshit, so we'll skip it because the key segment's coming up. Ray faced Ken Kennedy. Ken Kennedy managed to have a boring match with Rey Mysterio. You know how hard that is?
It's impressive.
Mark fucking Henry has good matches.
Several good matches with Ray.
Ken Kennedy just bored everyone out of their minds. And
every once in a while, Ray would hit a move and the crowd would go crazy, and then it would end and they'd go, oh, fuck.
Then Chavo hit the ring, and there was a brawl. Vicky got involved. She took a bump, which consisted of her rolling to her back and selling like she had died. And they got into a big shouting match, and then finally she jumped up and stopped selling and started screaming and crying at both guys. And Ray was apologizing, and Chavo was blaming Ray, and it was wretched.
I don't know who.
Just the depths of wretchedness.
I can't fathom who's
you know what's funny
is
this was probably the worst thing ever involving Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero, but we've been so numb to the Eddie Guerrero stuff that now we just watch it and move on. Trying to think of something that was worse than this, really.
This is.
I mean, the stuff on his lowrider now pales in comparison.
This is his widow.
This
is his wife.
They backdropped him on a car. Whoa, who cares? Remember what a huge, gigantic deal that was when they brought out the car?
Yep.
Now it's like, wow, nothing. They beat him up on the car.
Just a car.
Now they're bringing out his widow and having her cry about the death and involving her in a storyline. This is by far the most wretched thing ever. But everyone is so numb to it that it's just another stupid SmackDown segment.
It's just bad TV. This show. I've gotten to the point now where I forget where SmackDown was ever good.
I can still remember that. I have not been totally jaded. When Paul Heyman was booking and Benoit and Angle and everybody was great.
Eddie.
Can't remember any time before that, actually. King Booker saved the show slightly by being King Booker. And Cole pretty much said, by the way, Teddy Long signed that match this week, Booker and Batista.
Yeah, if you hadn't heard, folks, this is your SmackDown main event for SummerSlam.
Sure. So
for no reason.
Then we had the Frenchman against the dress-wearing Freak, which I hate to say it, but I laughed at something in this match. The Frenchman went for a sunset flip and was trying to pull Vito over, and he looked up, and there were balls.
Yes, he saw little Vito.
And he screamed and ran away, I laughed.
He didn't scream, he shrieked.
Yes.
He shrieked and scampered away. This wasn't that bad. There was just an 18-minute chin lock in the middle of it. But on the whole, it was okay. And then at the end, JBL made it great when Vito slapped his submission on with the dress over the head and the hammerlock, and JBL says Sylvan couldn't wait to tap out. But he might be used to that kind of thing. You never know. And just JBL being JBL. I laughed.
JBL was good tonight. Sylvester Turkey faced a jobber and killed him. He needs to stop doing the horrible spinning back fist immediately.
He tried the spinning back fist. It looked so bad. They tried to edit it with the camera switch and then did not show a replay. And that means it sucked.
Awful. But this was better overall, except for the back fist.
Yeah.
Than his debut. But still, that move needs to go.
Or just kill the guy. One of the two.
He did kill the guy. The guy was knocked out by the spinning back fist.
Well, he was fake knocked out.
Yeah, but you don't understand. He can't do a spinning back fist.
Oh, well, that's bad then.
That
one's got to go.
This would be a Rob Van Dam move where he would really knock the guy out and it would still look horrible. We don't need that.
No,
Find a fucking move you can do. I mean, he's a fucking amateur. Have him just throw somebody around or something.
Do the angle slam. He's not on SmackDown anymore.
There's a million MMA spots that don't require any talent. I know that sounds bad.
That sounds bad.
The fucking Diva Search girl did a cross arm breaker, for Christ's sake.
Well, there you go.
So then we had the main event, which we can't talk about since we didn't see. So that was SmackDown.
There's your show.
The main event may have saved it, but we didn't see it, so I can't say. So what I saw, I got to give a thumbs down to.
Oh, hell, Jesus Christ, yes.
Very big thumbs
I guess it may have been better than last week, but still a violent thumbs down. Ryan already practicing for his new career.
SmackDown?
Sucked.
Did it?
Yes.
Probably did. They always do.
They always do.
There
was no Diva Search segment this week. It was even worse.
That's tragic, in fact. Big Dave faced Sylvan, squashed him. I liked how it's Big Dave's hometown and they give him Sylvan.
Yep.
Good one. He almost killed himself doing the sit-down power bomb, so Not much to it. Sylvester Turkey faced Scotty 2 Hotty. Turkey's strengths are wrestling and throwing dudes around, so and his weaknesses are striking. So, pop quiz, Vince. What do they make Sylvester Turkey do?
Striking?
Bunch of shitty striking.
Yeah.
The kicks have got to go. The fucking spinning back fist has got to go.
I think it was gone today, actually.
Well, it was, thankfully. He just needs to, he has a new finisher now, the Muscle Buster.
Yes. So. He put on a really cool standing side choke. I was like, that is an awesome finish. And then the match kept going for like 3 more minutes.
Sure, that's how this stuff usually works. The moves must be done. I can assure you there will be few moves in our match. I just want to throw that in there. Eddie Ray video package aired with Eddie. Oh, yes. Never ends. And
it's picking up.
Oh, indeed it is. Crystal was interviewing the Kendrick London connection, who were talking about Idol and Casey James attacking them. So Idol and Casey James attacked them, and we moved on. No more was to be said of this the entire show, so that was great. Poor Michelle McCool is useless at literally everything except dodgeball. Every single thing she's ever been told to do with this company, she's been a failure at except dodgeball.
I thought you liked her on commentary.
I liked her the way I liked the Great Khali match.
She was a failure on commentary.
Sure, that's why I loved it.
Yeah.
But she was trying to be a cheerleader as Casey James and his partner were beating on the KLC, as I like to call them.
You just made that up.
Kendrick London Connection, KLC.
I know that. I'm just saying.
I don't make anything up.
You just said you like
Mr.
to call
Kennedy
him that.
faced the Indian. Quiet.
Oh, God.
This was horrible.
Oh, it was awful. It really, truly was awful.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. I realize this sounds cocky, but I am sure at this point that the Indian is a rib on me. Me personally. Brian Alvarez, yes.
Editor of Figure 4 Weekly.
Because I can think of no other logical explanation except somebody hates me and decides to make me watch the Indian have a match with somebody every single week. And the matches just go on and 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 on for fucking ever. This match was horrible. I don't know why the Indian's on TV every week. He failed a test and he's still wrestling. Perhaps that's the punishment.
You must wrestle on SmackDown?
You must make everyone hate seeing you every single week. That is your punishment.
Sure.
For 30 days, you must wrestle on every SmackDown until the people cannot stand seeing you anymore. The big angle last week with the referee when Tatanka had his foot on the rope, no mention whatsoever.
I forgot about it until you mentioned it right now.
Played nothing into the storyline tonight. And Kennedy won with a handful of loincloth, and this just fucking sucked the big cock, in the words of the great Buddy Wayne.
I hope these guys are both ashamed of themselves.
Teddy Long met with Vicky in the segment of the year.
Speaking of shame.
She pleaded with him to cancel the Ray versus Chavo match. It's going to tear the family apart, she said. And little does she know. Teddy said, explaining the facts of life to Miss Guerrero, quote, You must understand, the only way to solve a personal conflict like this one between Ray and Chavo is for them to be man against man, face to face in the ring.
So there's your advice, children. Whenever you have a problem, the only way to settle it is to fight.
Whenever you have a problem over the deceased.
Whenever you have a problem over the deceased, you must brawl. You must scuffle.
Battle.
You must battle. Now, this is already funny. What made it, without question, the greatest moment in the history of television was that between these two, if you look at the background, there was very clearly a picture of a man named Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
Another great reverend.
Yes. I would go so far as to say, Brian, that he is a greater reverend than yourself.
How dare you?
But regardless, the point here is that this man who preached his entire life a code of non-violence. I don't think Dr. King would agree with the lesson that Teddy Long was preaching here.
Well,
this was surreal.
Mr. King Jr. is no longer with us, thus he can be exploited.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Undertaker faced Great Khali in a last man standing match. I cannot give this show a thumbs down because of this match. Great Khali is so unbelievably terrible.
He's the best bad wrestler I've ever seen.
Undertaker had a match better than I expected, I will say that. But I expected Rob Van Dam and Sabu. That's a badge of honor, by the way. Rob Van Dam and Sabu had a worse match than the Great Khali.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, guys. This was hideous, though. And highlights included the Undertaker putting Great Khali in a triangle choke, and Great Khali saying, ah, for 20 straight seconds. Ah, 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 That's how he sold it.
It is.
Then there was a spot where The Undertaker was tied in the ropes, and the Great Khali gave him 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 consecutive judo chops. I thought the match should be stopped.
I thought Taker's head was about to fall off.
It continued.
4 judo chops? He's just a man.
It continued, and then Khali ended up taking several chair shots to the head, one or a couple with his head on the steel steps, and he gigged. Probably the first and last time in his career. It's always good when you have elevated liver enzymes, and they're not quite sure why, and you gig. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So he was choke slammed and pinned, the standing 10 count didn't make it up, and finish was brutal. So this was fine. And Khali was so comically bad that I loved every moment of this. So yeah, thumbs up to that match.
Thumbs up for Undertaker and thumbs up to the Great Khali.
Khali has no curve in his lower back.
This is what I was trying to say months ago on the infamous drop, which I will not repeat. But yes, you could draw a straight line from the base of Great Khali's neck.
I want to find this drop now.
And you probably will.
I don't even know what it says. Which one's it about?
It's used in the F4W boogie.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
But yes, you could draw a straight line from the base of Khali's neck to the soles of his feet, and it would be a perfectly straight line with no curve anywhere in his body.
He has no curve in his back, was what.
He's a two-dimensional man.
Vince, of course, noticed that because he was looking at the Great Khali's ass and lower back. Khali gigged, as I know. Just reading a random thing here. Vito faced a jobber.
Who did?
Vito.
Oh, Vito. You said it very quickly. I didn't understand.
Well, why don't you start listening?
Well, Vito did face a jobber. The highlight of this was when Vito, the dress-wearing guy, was wrestling the jobber, and he proceeded to place him in a long headlock. Twice. I blame this solely on Vito.
This was another rib on me, personally, because there's no other... I mean, seriously, there's no other explanation for this stuff, except someone hates me. I mean, who could go... All right, you're going to go 5 minutes with Frank Henderson here on SmackDown on live TV. We want 2 long headlock spots, okay?
Just squeeze him.
Oh, an Indian. Hey, come here. We're going to have you wrestle Ken Kennedy.
The announcing guy.
Yeah, and we want Ken to put you in a leg hold. Just grab his leg and do something to it. That's what we want you to do. And make sure you hold it for 2 minutes.
Twice.
And, twice. We won't go to commercial doing this. This will be live on the air, so that's right, guys.
This show is so fucking bad.
Well, no, Undertaker and Khali. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Except for that.
The Boogeyman is coming back. Cole threatened that he was coming back at SmackDown. By the way...
Oh, one more request. We're going back to the Vito match. For those of you who...
I was going to talk about that. Well, Vito won.
Vito won, but more importantly, he 2 things. One, he got the heat by flashing his wiener at his opponent. And it worked, so hey, whatever works. Number 2, at the end of the match, as he was flitting around...
Wiener?
Wiener, yes.
What an idiot.
At the end of the match, as Vito was flitting around, lifting his skirt up, JBL said the word damn it over and over again. We need this drop. Just JBL saying damn it about 8 times in a row.
Yes.
Please.
Then we had Lashley and Finlay, which was fun while it lasted. Regal got involved. There was a lot of wackiness, and finally Regal hit the ring for the DQ. And Lashley destroyed both men afterwards, including throwing a chair through the air and hitting Fit Finlay in the head and shoulder and God knows what with it. I did not go to the Torch website, but I would like to see how many stars Wade gave this match. Because if he gave this match less than the Rob Van Dam... In fact, I'm going right now.
This could be the brink of something monumental.
We are...
Yes, if this match was not better than
Rob
Van Dam versus Sabu in a ladder match for the number 1 contenders slot in the title match at SummerSlam.
Wade does not appear to have a SmackDown report up yet, which greatly distresses me.
We'll just hang out in the air until he puts it up.
This cannot be true. Where the hell's the SmackDown report, for Christ's sake? It's Impact report. Let's look at Raw and see what he rated lower than Rob Van Dam versus... I'm just going to read this one more time. I'm going to actually read this. I hope Wade does not sue me for reading his ECW report on the air. Rob Van Dam versus Sabu. Number 2 contender match for SummerSlam. What does that mean?
Perhaps it means he thinks Kurt Angle is still number 1. PWTorch.com, everyone.
What does that mean, number 2? I thought the winner of this got a shot at the Big Show.
They do.
So why is it a number 2 contender match?
I don't know.
All right, anyway. RVD took an early leap off the top rope to grab at the contract, skipping the ladder. He came up short.
Well, that's true. He did.
Sabu then hit RVD with a flying clothesline off a chair in mid-ring, sending RVD over the top rope to the floor. At 5 minutes, Sabu gave RVD a DDT. Then he tumbled to the floor himself.
What?
Sabu threw the ladder into the ring. Would you please be quiet? Sabu threw the ladder onto the ring apron at 5 minutes, but RVD slide kicked it into him. It's a baseball slide drop hit, kids. Then he dove onto Sabu, who was holding the ladder. They cut to a break. Oh, Jesus, I thought that was the whole thing. There's way more. I'll just cut to the end. RVD had to stall a couple extra seconds as Sho was a couple seconds late getting in the ring. I should note that Sho ran to the ring.
Sho had to run.
He literally ran and slid into the ring. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. Sho reached for the contract and demanded it be lowered. Sabu dove onto Sho's shoulders. Sho then grabbed the clipboard to win. Oh, Sabu then grabbed the clipboard to win. I'm sorry. I actually apologize to Wade. I am butchering this. Sho...
You just invented a new guy. A homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, 7-foot guy in baggy pants who eats a lot.
Sho powerbombed Sabu to the mat. Sho threw a little fit in frustration. Sabu was announced as the winner. Sho chokeslammed Sabu after the match. Winner, Sabu in 17 minutes. Star rating, 3 stars. Lots of big and blown spots amidst nonstop action, which probably played well with the massive TV audience since this type of match isn't on basic cable often. For those who've seen many of these matches over the years, it was good, but not something that hasn't been seen before.
Oh, I disagree with both of those statements.
As usual with this type of match, hampered by the lack of long-term selling of any kind. Finish was also clunky and choreographed looking. From Sho's late arrival to the awkward positioning of Sho so Sabu could die. Okay, so what was 3 stars about the fucking thing? He buried it through the whole thing.
I don't know.
I'm going to the Raw report. I just want to see.
This show's awesome.
Shut up, dude. All right, let's see.
We're reading, yeah.
Mickie James versus Lita, he gave 1.25 stars. So. Okay.
I remember nothing about this Raw.
Umaga and Alex Sage was 1/4 star. Flair and Nitro was 3/4 star. These were all very short, so I'm not going to rant and rave. Mikey and Kenny versus Hacksaw Duggan and Eugene was 1/4 star. And we had Carlito and Edge, 1.25 stars. That's all the matches. Well, that's lame. Let's go to...
Let's go back to the week before.
No, you know what we'll do? Okay, here's the last one, kids. I don't want to harp on this.
No, of course not.
I'm going to go to the Hard Justice pay-per-view recap. Because there were 2 matches on there I thought were 4 stars.
Yes.
The LAX match with Daniels and AJ.
If he gave either one of those matches a lower rating than RVD and Sabu, I don't know what I'll do.
All right, here we go. Showtime, Eric Young and Johnny Devine, 1 star. Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, 2 stars. Brother Runt versus Abyss, 1.5 stars.
Jesus.
That match was way better than
That
Rob
was
Van
so
Dam
much
and
better than the
Sabu.
ECW main event.
Samoa Joe versus
Here we
Rhino
go.
versus Monty Brown. I don't even want to look. 2.75
No!
Samoa Joe, Rhino, and Monty Brown was in fact worse than Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
Well, I've learned something today. Here, I thought I knew something about wrestling. Clearly, I know nothing.
Sorrelda and Gail Kim, 1/4 star. Senshi, Petey Williams, and Jay Lethal, 3 stars.
What?
Yes. Okay, here we go. AJ Styles and Chris Daniels versus LAX. I'm cringing. 3.25. Okay. At least that one was more stars than Rob Van Dam versus Sabu.
You know, the thing about star ratings is they're all subjective, but sometimes they are still just wrong. and Wade Keller's opinion on the Rob Van Dam Sabu match is wrong.
I have to say that the man's opinion is wrong.
His opinion is false.
I concur. Boy, oh boy, this show will get some feedback. I don't know what kind, but I don't give a shit. That was just wrong. There are certain things
3
that
fucking stars for Rob Van Dam and Sabu in a ladder match.
I have to make a stand.
Oh my god.
In no way was that match 1/4 star better than the 3-way at the TNA pay-per-view.
Fuck no.
All right, we're gonna stop now. The main event of the show was actually Booker T and King Booker, who is Booker T in fact. He came out, he himself and him. 3 of them came out with Sharmell, and they cut a promo about the pay-per-view, and Booker said that he was going to beat up Batista and destroy him and that sort of thing, and And he would not do that because there was a plan B if Batista wanted to bite. Batista came out. Plan B was for Batista to kiss Booker T's feet. He unveiled his royal feet, which were very
huge,
large compared to his skinny legs.
Yep.
And to me, this was so great because the King Booker character actually thought that Batista might kiss his feet.
Yes. It's great in a hokey, old-school wrestling kind of way.
This is old school. I mean, Booker T, this was old school.
This is a 1983 angle.
It really was, and it was great.
And I mean that in the highest praise.
And Batista did not, in fact, kiss his feet.
But he teased it.
He teased it, and then he beat up Booker T, and it was grand.
He teased it, and then he stomped on his feet.
Yes.
Yes. So
it was awesome, and he put on the cape afterwards. It didn't sell one buy. Not a single solitary buy.
I'm going to buy this show to see Booker T's feet.
But the thing was, nothing would have sold any buys for Batista and Booker unless they actually had footage of the fight they had at the photo shoot, which they don't. So.
Nothing on the show will sell a buy for SummerSlam.
No. So it was a failure of a show. It sucked. But Great Khali made me laugh. Booker T made me laugh. So from a purely selfish point of view, I enjoyed this show. At least those two segments.
I cannot give it a thumbs up. While I did enjoy those two segments, the good 35 minutes was not enough to offset the horrible hour 25.
SmackDown, which...
Thumbs down.
Jesus, God, this show is just... I hate this show.
There was...
Oh my God, we even talked about Conan.
I missed the...
That was utterly random.
Should have talked about that during the LAX match.
Oh my God, we even talked about Conan.
Conan was awesome, Dave. He was awesome in the LAX thing, actually.
Yes, he was.
He was
as usual.
He was jumbo.
This is the jumboest of jumbo boxes you have ever seen.
Jumbo.
Jumbo-est.
Go on.
What are we talking about?
SmackDown.
We're talking about Conan and stuff. You got me totally sidetracked. SmackDown sucked. There was nothing worth watching for the first hour and 50 minutes, and then there was a halfway decent main event that was, I guess, a thumbs up segment, but a miserable, horrible, awful, useless thumbs down show. Is that better?
God, was Ray Tigre atrocious.
Ray Tigre was awful, but he was so far into awful, he was wildly entertaining. His reaction to everything was to pump both fists to his sides and go, "Bee!" When he hit a move, he went, "Bee!" And when they chopped him, he went, "Bee!" And they hit the ropes. They hit the ropes in front of him, and he went, "Me!" And they hit him with a clothesline.
Enough out of you, God damn it! I want you to know that I hate you for that moment.
What the fuck was I talking about?
Ray Tigre.
Ray Tigre.
Didn't you hear the very fucking beginning? God, was Ray Tigre. God, was Ray Tigre.
I can't hear you because I'm laughing.
God, was Ray Tigre atrocious. God, was Ray Tigre atrocious.
Okay, I hear it now. Ray was awful, but he was so far into awful, he was wildly entertaining.
You even said Ray Tigre.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
I hated you for that moment. The ending of that was just perfect when I just told you to shut up and please never speak again.
Yeah, well, you're the one.
That hates you?
Yes.
Oh, just because there's a poll that a bunch of people called you a 10, you're all of a sudden just...
No, not because of that.
King of the fucking world now?
Because no one else ever complained about that.
I'm going to pummel you. I'm going to pummel you for all the 10 giving motherfuckers on that board. Jesus. I'm going to pummel you like I wish I could just pummel SmackDown. Just stomp it into the earth and never have anything to do with it
Never watched again. I turned to you at one point in the show and asked, will this show ever get canceled? You didn't answer, which made me sad. I was hoping you would say soon.
Everybody, welcome to All Access.
I don't know what that is, but it's 4 minutes and 46 seconds long, so I think we'll finish with that. Let me find the drop again so I can get it ready. It's called The Last Dragon.
Good times.
I can only imagine what we're in for. Let's get through SmackDown so we can play it. I don't care about wrestling anymore. I've given up. I gave up when Tony hung up on this
Apparently.
show.
It shows.
On this show. And SmackDown was just useless. This is the most fucking useless show on television. It's just bad.
It's the same bad shit every week, and it keeps getting longer.
You already gave your speech. Let me give my speech.
Go for it.
This show was abysmal. It's been abysmal every week. I dread this show every week. Friday nights come and I'm like, most people go, thank God it's Friday. I go, God damn it's Friday. Because I got to watch this fucking stupid SmackDown show. The Indian, the fucking geek in the skirt, the Frenchman, Vicky Guerrero, bullshit. over and over for 2 hours. There were exactly two things on this show of any value whatsoever. The first was Jimmy Yang, who is now a Southern redneck. And the second was when Fit Finlay threw the midget on Michael Cole, and Michael Cole screamed in terror and pain. And I need a drop of that immediately to play on the show until the end of time. Other than that, this show was just so far below Thunder. Thunder, at least every week,
Thunder had charm.
it was funny.
Yeah.
Sid would come out and cut a funny promo. I mean, the closest SmackDown ever gets to Thunder is when Great Khali's on, and there was no Great Khali this week.
There's no Great Khali and no Diva Search, and therefore there is no SmackDown.
There was some diva shit, but it was horrible.
It wasn't a Diva Search, though. We need the comedy of that. SmackDown can be summed up. They did a three-way tag team brawl with the Pit Bulls, and the Kendrick London Connection, and James and Idol. And the only 6 people in the building making any noise were the 6 men in the ring fighting. The fans were just sitting there watching. They didn't care. They cut to a shot of Michelle McCool on the outside, which is great because you could see the fan behind her openly yawning, just stretching, yawning. And then eventually it kept going and going, and finally the fans just started to boo. And it wasn't boo as in, we don't like you guys, that one team. It was boo as in, this bullshit you're putting before us sucks and we don't want to see it anymore. Were you listening to any of that?
No, but you're going to forgive me when I explain why. I just got an email.
Who else got fired?
Can you calm down while I continue here? You're jumping the gun.
I like to guess things once in a while.
I got an email from Brent Kremen.
Did he get fired?
It is titled Brian versus Vinny. And it reads, Brian, I had all my emails wiped out when Netscape moved to AIM. I need Buddy Wayne's email address again. Brent.
What?
What do you think the chances are of me ever giving Brent Kremen the email address of Buddy Wayne? I can tell you right now. 0%. He's actually emailed me twice today trying to get this email address. I don't know why. He ain't getting it.
Apparently he has something very important he has to say to Buddy Wayne.
Well, he can say it to me, and I'll forward it to Buddy Wayne.
You veto the idea of ever getting those two together?
That ain't happening. SmackDown was just abysmal. You were talking about the Pitbulls. The defining moment of this show was when Gregory Helms was out there talking about the Cruiserweight title, and JBL said, why don't you headline every pay-per-view? And Gregory Helms said, well, there's just no competition in this division. There's plenty of competition for the world title, there's plenty of competition for the U.S. title, and there's plenty of competition for the tag titles. And I thought, there are 2 teams. There are apparently 3 men in the U.S. title division, Regal, Finlay, and Lashley. And there's apparently 2 men in the heavyweight division, Batista and Booker T. So what the fuck are you talking about? And that was the defining moment of this show. You talked about TNA feuds progressing. Nothing ever progresses in SmackDown. I feel like I've been watching the same show every week for 6 years. The same fucking guys every week doing the same fucking bullshit. I refuse to talk any more of this show. If you didn't see it, you missed nothing except just an appalling Vicky Guerrero segment in which he turned heel and hit Ray with a chair, which nobody gave a shit about. It was that booing like we hate this. All I could think was, name one man who would want to watch this. Name one human being upon this. Even the Naturals fan can't like this. Name the one person. If you're the one person out of the thousands of people listening to this right now, if you're the one person that loves this fucking feud, let me know. And explain, let me know why, and I'll read it on. I won't bury you. I just want to know. I'll read it here on the show on Tuesday. I'll read it in a shout-out. I'll give you a free damn shout-out. You tell me why you love this feud. And I'm not taking any bullshit emails either, so if you're lying, I ain't reading it on the air. So anyway, that was the show, and it blew, and I have nothing more to say about it. And we can't even do more of a review because there's nothing to talk about. If you saw the show the last 4 weeks, it's the same goddamn show.
Ken Kennedy wrestling for 80 minutes.
Sure. There's nothing has progressed. Nothing. It's all the same.
Matters.
Let's get that shitty SmackDown show out of the way first. It was not as bad as usual.
No, this has improved greatly over the past month of shows where this is merely boring.
Maybe it was because we missed a week. That could be.
It took a week off and we're not as hateful.
Yeah.
I did think to myself as they were showing highlights of what happened last week, and they kept showing stuff, and I kept thinking, when that was going on, I was watching Roderick Strong and Rocky Romero.
Yeah.
That was better. I was watching Shima and M-Dog 20, or any of the cool stuff I was watching, all of which was better than SmackDown.
I learned a valuable deal this week by skipping a week of shows, and that is that it's interesting what they replay and what they don't replay. The ECW show had clips that were, previewing the show and such, and you would think that, well, perhaps they'll show clips of that Paul Heyman-Sabu match from last week that was the main event of the television show.
Why no?
No. Like, absolutely not one mention of it. I still have no idea what happened. So, thankfully, I've got a TiVo. I can go back and watch that match, but not a mention. And to me, it's like, what was the point then? If it's so irrelevant that you don't even need to mention it in the slightest, that to me tells me that there was no point of airing it. And I don't know. It just seems to me like when you do a show and the show's over and then like the next week there's no mention of the previous week's show and you're telling people that nothing they saw last week is important, sort of tells them nothing's important.
Kinda.
Why watch the show if nothing the week before mattered? Is anything this week going to matter? We devoted an hour of our life to it. You would think that something would matter. Nothing mattered last week. The only thing they recapped was a bunch of DX stuff from Raw.
And SummerSlam, yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking? SmackDown show. I hate Michael Cole. I just wanted to start off with that. He's a fucking moron. He has no understanding of anything in this business. And I realize people are going to go, well, he's saying what they tell him to say. Okay, if you realize it's a mistake, you can voice your opinion in WWE. You don't have to say you guys are stupid. But the show opens up with him.
It would be better if we did blank.
Well, the show opens up with him going, there's a big fight feel here tonight on SmackDown. And I'm like, Cole, you've said that every single week. So you know what it means now when you say a big fight feel? Nothing. Every week it's a big fight feel, so there is no big fight feel.
Yeah.
Can't you go, don't I say this every week? Can't we save it for when there is a big... I mean, maybe if they hadn't said it the last 8 weeks in a row, this would have it would have meant something when he said a big fight feel for Batista and Booker. This was only one of many just retarded statements by Michael Cole. He yelled at JBL at one point for being ignorant, and that was the best line ever in the history of wrestling. Michael Cole calling somebody else ignorant.
Yeah.
Especially when the opener was Mr. Kennedy, and I believe they called him Johnny Jamandi or somebody Jamandi.
Giobasco?
No, Jamandi.
Oh, maybe it was.
You weren't paying attention.
I was too blown away by his hairstyle. The blonde mutton chops.
What you're missing, Vince, is the key here in that Johnny Giamondo, or what the fuck is that guy's first name? We see him on Ohio Valley all the time. It's the fucking guy from the New Jersey, the Jersey Street, whatever.
Danny Inferno?
It's Danny Inferno. It's his real
Wow.
name, Johnny Giamondo. This man was not Danny Inferno. They called him the wrong name through the entire fucking match.
Now I understand.
Jesus Christ, what a fucking geek. So yeah, that was that. Anyway, Ken Kennedy won. This is classic. I was sitting there thinking, Giamondo. Why the fuck do I know that name? And then I realized that's Danny Inferno.
Well, you were correct.
And that's not Danny
This
Inferno.
is most certainly in no way Danny Inferno. This is no member of the Inferno family.
Yeah, so this Giamondo lost, and that was classic stuff right there. Mr. Kennedy, I guess it's a new guy, but still does literally nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
We missed him winning the U.S. title somehow.
Well, we weren't watching the show last week, you geek.
I know.
You said somehow, like it was a mystery.
Well, there was a match involved. Apparently there's a three-way is what I'm saying.
Yeah, last week. There's no mystery.
Who was the third man?
Who cares? It was last week.
Yeah, but they didn't show replays of that either.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you.
But I like how you say we somehow missed it.
Okay,
Like,
I didn't think he won it in a eating contest. I didn't think he did a crossword puzzle fast to give him the belt. I knew he won it in a match.
do you know what the word somehow means?
Yes, I didn't literally mean somehow.
Just stop talking for a second.
I have no problem with that.
So they did this Delia Bob, and then he cut a promo and said he wanted John Cena money, and then another great moment. He said, "How about this? If Cena comes to SmackDown, I'll go to Raw." So basically, the deal is, if you're on Raw and you lose a match, you go to the losing brand, SmackDown, and the SmackDown guys all want to get to Raw. Could you possibly bury the brand anymore? Vince, you can speak now. Jesus
I was
Christ.
just waiting for you to give me permission.
Fuck.
You told me not to talk. I wasn't going to
Also, the
disobey you.
10 seconds of silence and staring at you didn't...
I was waiting for literal permission to speak.
What a pussy.
I was waiting for... no, I'm just deciding. I'm the co-host. I let the host run the show.
Co-host doesn't mean you're the host junior. You know what co means? You are stupid today. Do you need a dictionary here for this show? Co-host means host and host. The co-host. You're the host junior. I'm waiting for permission from the co-host. Technically, we're both on even ground here. Technically, I said.
I was going to say.
In reality,
in what way?
In reality, it's utterly different. But just speak. For Christ's sake, speak.
Well, they sure did bury SmackDown.
My question, Vince, was, am I wrong in thinking that they buried SmackDown with this statement?
No, of course not. It was blatant and bordering on deliberate. It seemed like that was the point of the whole promo, was for Kennedy to bury his own show.
You know what's funny?
He wanted to escape SmackDown. He may as well say, "Give me the fuck off this sinking ship."
I just try and go a whole show without yelling at you for something, and you always drag it out of me. It's like, how long did we go here before I exploded? 29. That may be a record. 29 minutes.
Well, to be fair, we also had Tony there for part of that.
That's true.
You can chop off 10 minutes just for that.
And it was 15 at least, maybe 20. So I got 9 minutes or so, basically, that you lasted before I had to blow my stack at your...
When all I did was do what you asked.
Fuck off, do what I asked. Oh, Jesus. Idol and Casey James and Michelle McCool versus Spanky, Paulin, and Ashley. Ball's in your court. I'm turning myself down for once.
All I really have to say about this is that I don't know what happened, but Michelle McCool got really, really hot all of a sudden.
She curled her hair.
I guess that was it. I never really thought much of her before, but she was smoking this evening. Oh, Idol still sucks. James occasionally sucks, and JBL is smart enough to point it out, but then cover it up by saying it's a rookie mistake and they'll get better with experience. He also at one point in this match pulled out a Steve and Sean Simpson reference, which makes the ignorant comment all the more ironic. But the Kendrick London connection won. They rolled up James and pinned him, and the feud will continue, and it didn't really matter.
Iron Man made a challenge. Vinny thought he had nothing to fear. Then the boy made it happen.
What's happening?
The winner will be clear. Dreams of gold. That's what
Mike?
Brian and Vinny are after. Dreams of gold. Let's hope it's not a disaster, but it's the trainer. Tony's the camera guy.
Porno
Brian's
Tony.
in training, and Vince is eating a pizza pie. Dreams of gold. That's what Brian and Vinny are after. Dreams of gold. Let's hope it's not a disaster. Dreams of gold. That's what Brian and Vinny are after. Dreams of gold. Let's hope it fills us with laughter.
That's our own Mike Rowe, everybody, your future American Idol.
We've moved men to create art.
If you want to call...
You know, the last night I actually dreamt of gold.
That is, in fact, art, actually, now that I think about it.
Music is art.
I just pictured a drawing when you said that.
That may be possible, too.
Fat motherfucker.
For all we know, someone's at home right now painting us in watercolor.
Maybe they are, Vince. Although, if they're painting you, they probably had to...
Get more paint?
Yes. Thanks for
That's a funny joke.
filling in.
I saw where it was going, but it was still funny.
It's good. Where were we here? I don't even fucking
Something
know.
about SmackDown.
Vito
Ah,
came out to do commentary for William Regal and
Steven Regal.
Lashley. What?
Vito kept calling him Steven Regal over and over and over again. He's only been William for about 6 years.
Sure. Vito is an idiot. If
Oh,
you
yeah?
haven't figured it out already. Who told the story about Vito on the show? Oh, Lance Storm. Oh, Vito.
The best part was Cole, by the only thing he deserves credit for tonight, he tried to correct him every time without saying, "You're wrong." But Vito would say, "Oh, Steven Regal's a tough guy." And Cole would say, "You're right. William Regal, tough guy."
Well, where was somebody to correct him on Giovanni?
I don't know.
Or Giabajahabadahaba. The hell's that guy's name again?
Giamondo.
Giovanni. I'm thinking of Ed Moretti.
Yeah, Joy Giovanni.
What? Thinking of Ed Moretti.
All right, shut up.
Interrupting me.
Correcting
Unacceptable. So, match was all right. Too much stuff with Vito. And a lot of ass-related stuff that was all blurred, thankfully. But what's the point of all the ass if it's all being blurred? I thought of that in the women's match. They blurred out the women's asses when their skirts came up. And I'm like, if you're blurring the asses, what's the point? To see them wrestle?
No, that can't be it.
Who the fuck wants to see Ashley and Michelle McCool have a grappling battle? Not me.
No one on earth.
Then we had The Miz. I love The Miz. I might as well say it. I said this a few weeks back, and you mocked me. Don't tell me The Miz wasn't awesome tonight.
I've said before that my problem with The Miz was that he was a babyface. Tonight, he's some weird pseudo-heel kind of thing.
No one knows what... See, I thought Miz turned heel 2 weeks ago, and we missed a show last week, obviously, but this week he comes out, he's acting like a heel, he's working like a heel, he's just the most annoying fucker in the whole world, yet when he yells, hoorah...
They yell hoorah back at him.
Everybody yells hoorah back with him.
Meanwhile, JBL still hates him.
And, I figure you're just going to interrupt me again, so I just gave the office right there.
That's all I had to say.
And JBL hates him, and Michael Cole thinks he's cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he is, except a total geek in an entertaining way. He kept going hoorah over and over again. He began doing the robot and screaming hoorah. He was dancing around. I was so wildly entertained by this man. He's not very good in the ring. He's not horrible. There's far worse in the ring than The Miz. But, yeah.
As long as he's portrayed as a goof, I have no problem with him.
And he beat Matt Hardy, so you can't go wrong there.
In 2 weeks now, he's beat Matt Hardy and Tatanka.
Gregory Helm screwed Matt. And at least we got a new character who's entertaining.
He's entertaining in a way. It's more than just a guy in a dress or a guy in a feather headdress or a guy from Quebec. He's was The Miz.
And we didn't see the Frenchman tonight.
No, I'm bringing up an example of a lame guy from SmackDown.
I'm just pointing out we didn't see the Frenchman tonight. Something must have gone wrong. This was the best 10 minutes of the show because we got The Miz immediately followed by Jimmy Wayne Wang. Yang or Wang?
I believe it's supposed to... They haven't put a graphic up, which would help, but I believe it's Jimmy Wayne Yang.
I like Jimmy Wayne Wang.
I like Jimmy Wang Yang is pretty good, too.
That's his new name here on this show is Jimmy Wayne Wang. He did a skit, and it was great.
He's always great.
Vicky Guerrero came out. I hate this. I hate everything about it. But she's getting better. She's not a complete embarrassment. She at least understands how to make people hate her. So, but I don't know where they're going with it.
I was just going to say, is this going to culminate with Ray finally getting his hands on Vicky and giving her a 619? Is that what this is leading to?
It may. Chavo faced the Engine, and it was bad. Chavo's got new hair. He has undergone his transplant, so in 6 months you can go to the medical hair restoration website and see his after picture. He looks wacky.
It worked.
His hair?
Sort of.
His hair worked?
Yeah, he is not bald anymore.
Yeah, but it takes 3 months to grow in, dude.
That's not done yet.
It looks horrible right now.
No.
I guess it looks better than it did, but still weird. And any thoughts on the match?
Not really. Chavo pinned him clean with a frog splash. What the hell? What? Okay, what do you want me to say about Chavo Guerrero versus Tatanka?
Well, why don't you talk about...
Tatanka had a visual pin, but Chavo got the rope, so Tatanka got pissed at the ref. Chavo came back, got a clean pin with a frog splash.
Why don't you consider your job on this show the play-by-play guy, and I'll do color?
I'll try to do that then.
Because maybe somebody really wanted to know, how did Chavo pin the Indian?
Okay.
And I did not reveal that information. I was adding color.
I see.
So you can do the play-by-play. You remember that for the future.
I'll see what I can do.
Much smoother.
Mainly because I have nothing of any
That's right.
value to say, so I can just list facts.
Vince, seriously.
No, I'm not. That statement was not sarcastic.
Okay, because I
have absolutely nothing to add to Chavo Guerrero versus Tatanka. I can tell you what happened.
Find a glass cup to throw at you like the Big Lebowski if you'd been making a sarcastic comment about everything you add to this show.
No, I'm well aware.
I did like that Chavo Guerrero and Vicky Guerrero have a business relationship, according to Michael. He talked about this all night.
Yep. You can't just call him the sister-in-law. I don't know why. Can't just call him family.
Yeah, I refer to Tony as my business associate, not my brother-in-law.
And he really is.
Jesus Christ. MVP did a deal. He's mad at Teddy Long for not getting him comp tickets for 2 whores. Booker T faced Big Dave for the WWE title. They built this up like a CMLL heavyweight title match with the ring intros and that sort of thing. A little wackiness beforehand. Big Dave started out with mat wrestling.
Seriously.
Big Dave's horrible now.
He really is.
Utterly awful.
When he was doing those clotheslines, it was first day of training bad.
You may be better than Batista now.
He still looks better. I'll give him that.
We'll find out next Sunday. But he does, in fact, look better than you, Vince.
Yeah. Significantly better tan.
By a wide margin. Every single thing about him, in fact. But, yeah, they had a match. It was all right. But
I will say, I'll knock him and then give him credit. When they tried to do the big fight atmosphere, they did the ring intros, they held up the belt, they did little promos on each other. And when this was going on at the beginning, no one cared. This was the worst big fight feel I've ever seen. No one gave a crap about this. It was the main event for the phony belt and the stupid show no one likes. And then by the end, 15 minutes later, when first thing I said to you was, I have no desire to watch these men wrestle for 15 minutes. And when it was done, people were into it. They were getting into Batista's comeback. So, hey, it worked. The crowd got into it as it went along, and that's the whole idea. So, thumbs up for them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they got into it as it went along.
I was also wondering...
They went from -4 to 1.
There you go. That's the best way you can put it. I was also wondering during this show at various points, what do you think is lower prestige for Booker T, to be champion of SmackDown in 2006 or champion of WCW in 2000? I guess SmackDown's going to be around for a while, but they both suck.
Which is lower?
Yeah. Which is more embarrassing?
Neither.
All right.
I never once thought of that deal right there. Let's get on to SmackDown. Came out with Finlay, as I noted. He's Finlay. He loves to fight. That's all we know about Finlay. He's supposed to be a main eventer, and all we know is he's Finlay and he loves to fight. And he's got a midget. Mm-hmm. And the midget had a tarp over his head or something of that nature. And Finlay brings him down to the ring, covered in a tarp, and he cuts this long, fucking boring promo about how he beat up Batista. Batista ain't going to be here, that sort of thing. So then who comes out to try and save the segment? Lashley, who cuts an even more boring promo.
This was very bad.
So then out comes Teddy Long, and he signs him to a match. And the winner of the match in the main event tonight is going to get a shot at Booker T for the WWE title at the next pay-per-view. So they're out there, and Lashley shoves Finlay, who bonks into the midget, who has a tarp on his head. And the midget, who can't see because of the aforementioned tarp, attacks Finlay. That's comedy. You're supposed to laugh.
Ha ha!
Ha ha ha! So then Finlay picks up the midget, still in the tarp, throws him under the ring, and that's the end of the segment. And my immediate question was, why was the midget wearing a tarp?
And the answer is,
setup for a bad joke?
Yes. That's the only possible answer for him to do. A, not into the ring. B, wearing a tarp.
This is why this show does a 1. This is why nobody watches this show. Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, who would watch this show? And I mean, was there anybody that didn't ask this question? Maybe there were. Maybe there were people that didn't even think about this. But
well, apparently people working on the show. But
why?
The first question that came
why
out,
was the midget wearing a tarp?
That was question B. My first question was, why is the midget not under the ring? And they both led to the same answer: the setup for the stupid joke.
For a bad joke that wasn't funny.
It was not funny at all.
This show sucks. Regal and Fit had a meeting backstage, and this at least made sense. Regal was unhappy that if Fit won the match tonight, the title shot at the pay-per-view, it would break up the King's Court. And Finlay just blew him off. Gregory Helms faced Matt Hardy. At least these guys wrestle every week, and it's a good match.
Yeah.
It could be the Indian and the Frenchman over and over again, or the dress-wearing freak and whoever over and over again, but they had a good match.
It was fine, just fine.
I thought it was actually pretty good, but the best part of all, really, was the fans were all into Matt Hardy, and they were chanting his name as he was selling, and let's go, man, and blah, blah, blah. And then he starts his comeback, and they just died. I thought, what the fuck do you people want? Were you chanting for him to sell more? What did you want out of him?
I don't know.
So he made his big comeback. No one cared. They did a bunch of near falls. People started to get into there to finish. And then finish was actually fantastic. The referee got bumped into. He didn't take a bump. He just turned his back and flinched and this and that. And as his back was turned, Gregory Helms fouled Matt Hardy. He kicked him right in the nuts. The only thing missing was for Matt Hardy to jump 10 feet in the air and fall on his back and wildly kick his feet as he was being covered.
And point to his genitals.
Yes, point to his penis. And Gregory Helms pinned him, and that was the end of that. And this was straight out of CMLL, and it was great.
Yes, we approve of the nut shot as a finisher.
Gigantic 5 thumbs up finish right there. So Dominic's back, the son of Eddie Guerrero. This is another reason I hate this show, and it has nothing to do with the show. It has to do with WWE. Dominic was involved in a summer-long storyline where he didn't know who his dad was and all this kind of wackiness, and the poor little guy goes back to school and just takes hell. Just takes hell. So when did they decide to bring him back? First week school starts. That's great. So here's poor Dominic back on national TV. Luckily, nobody watches this show anymore. That's the only positive. So he was in the backstage area as Ray went out for his match, and actually no.
They just walked in the building.
Okay, this was later that they set him down backstage.
Yeah.
Jimmy Wang Yang cut a promo. He wanted us all to know he was not a Chinaman who built the railroads. He's a
redneck.
He's a redneck.
He's from Georgia.
Miz faced Scotty 2 Hotty. I'm a huge fan of The Miz.
I love The Miz.
There was a short segment on this when the show was great, and this was part of it here. Miz is so fantastic. He's such an absolute idiot. And he's so eminently hateable, and I don't know. It's just...
I am so happy when I wished for him to take his life, he did not do it.
The best part is that Michael... Everybody
knows he's a heel except for Michael Cole and JBL.
No.
Okay.
What do you mean JBL? JBL hates him.
Yeah, but JBL's the heel announcer, so...
It doesn't matter. The key of this whole... Yeah, JBL's a heel announcer, so he should like The Miz, because The Miz is a heel.
Right.
You're missing the entire key to this. The key to this is that everyone in the entire world hates The Miz except Michael Cole is a Miz mark.
Well, okay.
Which actually makes him an even bigger geek.
Oh, God, it does.
Because Miz is a geek, but he's got a fan. And the one fan is Michael Cole. And that's the other reason I love this, because they're positioning Michael Cole as the biggest fucking goof there's ever been. And I'm all for that. And this is what a big goof Michael Cole is. Miz does a neck breaker, which is actually his finish, the Wizard of Oz. And Cole is clueless. And he's like, swinging neck breaker by the Miz. He's covering him 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey, that's the Wizard of Oz. He just told me about it this afternoon. And he starts covering his ass. And I thought, you are a fool. You are an utter fool. Have I ever told you how much I hate Michael Cole? I hate
Indeed.
Michael Cole more than anybody in the entire World Wrestling Entertainment. I hate him more than Todd, I didn't even
TCS.
Todd Grisham, is that his real name? I hate him more than Todd Grisham. Who else do I hate in this company?
That's the writer, Gewirtz?
Gewirtz? I don't know Gewirtz. He's just an idiot. I hate Michael Cole more than all of them. And it's because Michael Cole thinks like he's Jim Ross. Not realizing that he's not Randy Rosenberg or Rosenblum.
From Heroes of Wrestling.
Michael Cole is so unbelievably bad. He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
He thinks he's great, and he makes no effort whatsoever to get any better.
Yeah, that's the key. He may be getting worse, actually.
He is the fake emotion, the fake smiling. Everything about him is fake. Every single thing about him is fake. Jim Ross has to call some real bullshit, but he's fine with going, the show's only 2 hours long, this match is bowling shoe ugly. You know, he doesn't, that's why Jim Ross is great, and that's why all the great announcers that there have ever been have been great. Because you believe them. And that's the whole key. You have to keep your announcers strong. You have to make your announcers, the fans have to believe the announcers. That way when you sell them on a pay-per-view, they're like, God, this is going to be a great pay-per-view. Every single thing about Michael Cole is fake. And even if you don't know anything about wrestling, I think you can still tell that Michael Cole sucks and he's full of shit. And when he plugs these pay-per-views, oh, this is going to be a great pay-per-view, you're like, okay.
Sure it is, Mike.
Sure, Michael Cole. He's pandering over the dress-wearing freak. We go out and drink with the girls every night. And you're just like, you are such a loser, and you're such a dork, and just the worst. He's just the worst. In charge of WWE.com like he's a big, powerful executive, like he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just a geek. And Vince McMahon buries WWE.com. That is just the greatest thing.
And they put it on WWE.com.
It sucks so bad. It's now public knowledge.
That's a quite WCW-like move.
No, I'm fine with this, though. I'm completely fine with it. It is just... And boy, what respect I gained for Vince McMahon. Just because he said it like it was. Michael Cole, you're an idiot. The website sucks. Every day you change your mind about, is this a shoot website? Is this supposed to be competition for the Observer side and the Figure 4 side and the tour? What is it supposed to be? Every day it changes. Oh, we'll have some shoot interview today. Tomorrow it'll be some bullshit article. Then the next day we'll try and be shooting again. Then the next day it'll be some bullshit article and just flip-flopping. Classic. WWE.com can suck my dick. And so can Michael Cole. God, what a dork.
He's a spaz.
Spaz? What does that mean? He's not a spaz. He's a fucking idiot.
Okay, he's an idiot.
Spaz.
Sorry for misusing that word.
It is a misuse of that word. I know people that are spazzes, and I like them. And I cannot give that label to Michael Cole.
I see.
Michael Cole is just a moron in every sense of the word. I cannot think of one redeeming quality that Michael Cole has. Think of one.
You don't like his frosted hair?
He's got a shitty haircut.
You don't like his
He's
goatee?
got a goofball mustache. He may have been on the Juice for a while. That's always great. The fucking announcer on the Juice. Yes. That's always a good one. He can't call matches. Completely sucks. False emotion. Shitty writer. Horrible updater on WWE.com. What other... His text messages he sends out on the WWE mobile service are just horrid. Just horrible. The best one was the other day when they actually sent out the mobile alert about the Vince McMahon burying WWE.com. I'm going to find it. Get my phone off the floor. I just got to read this text message to you that WWE.com sent out. We're stopping the whole show. I may get you out of this match and try and get Michael Cole, and he'd do it for $100. All right. Please tell me I didn't erase it. God damn it, I think I erased it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay. They sent out this text message. This was before anything had appeared on WWE.com. The Vince McMahon thing hadn't appeared on WWE. Nothing had appeared on there. This was just like in the middle of the day. They sent out this text message. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, quote, "Thanks for the compliment on WWE.com, but I think it sucks and our people know that. Visit WWE.com for Michael Cole's response." What the fuck does that mean? I read that and I was like, what angle is going on right now that they have not alerted us to? What is happening here? Is that not the worst text message you've ever seen? Let me read some of these other WWE text messages that Michael Cole has sent out here. "Of course I feel pain. I feel pain every minute of every day, but it doesn't stop me. Pain could never stop me. It hurts, but I live with it. Sabu, on pain." Oh, you don't say? He's talking about pain? I thought that was Sabu on love. Let me look down here. What else have we got? There's got to be more. Let me go back. Got that one about Sabu on pain. We've got Vince McMahon. My mobile service is about to renew. Oh, here's some breaking news. Former World Tag Team Champion Henry Godwinn has re-signed with WWE. Check WWE.com for more details on Godwinn's return to WWE.
Beauty.
Is he paid by the letter in this text message?
The great thing was, if you actually did go to WWE.com for more information on Henry
you would
Godwinn's
get the
return,
same
word
goddamn
for
message.
word. I don't get those text messages, and I'm glad.
Yeah, Michael Cole, let me tell you how our business has tumbled since you started this new WWE.com deal, where you were going to put all the other websites out of business. Wow, you've done a number on us. You have cut our business by
9/10.
I was trying to figure out how to do reverse math, but I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to do a negative to get into a positive, like a minus 50% or something
that would
like
work.
that.
If you say cut by minus 50%.
You have cut our business by minus 50%, Michael Cole. Congratulations. Your new WWE.com. And I can't wait till it gets better in October.
Oh, yeah. There's more to come.
Thank God.
Maybe we'll send out 8 text messages a day.
The Empire will... Michael Cole. What a fucking idiot. Brian Kendrick came out with Ashley and Paul London to face Kid Cash and Idol. So we had Kendrick, Ashley, London, Cash, Noble, their girl, Idol, and Casey James all out there. Total clusterfuck.
This was a next division match on SmackDown.
Brian Kendrick won.
They did a bunch of stuff.
And that was that. We had a meeting with Regal and Finlay and King Booker, where Booker wanted to discuss this whole deal with Finlay, and Finlay said he was just going to do what he did best, which is...
Fight.
He loves to fight, you see. And he walked off. You know, for years people were bearing the fact that WWE hired these Hollywood writers. I'm thinking they need to hire more. Get somebody in there that knows how to develop a character. They're like hiring children's book writers now or something like that. And that's actually probably, I feel sorry for saying that, because children's book writers do a hell of a lot better job with character development.
They're hiring commercial writers.
I don't even think they're doing that. They're hiring like people that book people for runway shows, for modeling. Where you just put them on the runway and make them walk. That's the extent of the character development. That's what they're doing here. Like I said, Ray hooked up Dominic, went down to the ring for a match, and he was horribly distracted when he got down there to see that Chavo and Vicky had walked into the room where young Dominic was. Like he was shocked that in a SmackDown arena, during a television taping, Chavo and Vicky might walk into a room where his son was. That was a good one.
This was dumb.
So then they had a match, Ray and Ken Kennedy. I will start out by giving the positive, which is that Ray is such a great worker that this was not horribly boring.
Yeah.
Which every Ken Kennedy match that I think I've seen in his entire SmackDown career has been horrible.
Including the last one with Ray.
And very, very boring. This was not horribly boring. I believe it went about 14 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This goddamn match went forever. And what was the finish? The family came out on the apron. Ray was distracted, got rolled up and pinned. That pissed me off. I was like, if you're going to do a fuck finish like that, do it in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The point of going 14 minutes is to try and get Kennedy over. He's going 14 minutes with Ray Jr. and winning. And then he wins like that and you accomplish nothing. You just had a 14-minute wrestling match that ended up in the middle boring me. It was fine at the beginning, it was fine at the finish, and in the middle it dragged because Kennedy had to do his 9-minute chin lock and his 9-minute abdominal stretch and all his other bullshit. And in the end, who got over? Nobody. Ray looked like a geek. Mm-hmm. Kennedy had to cheat to win a 14-minute match. And everybody hated Vicky and Chavo. And poor Dominic's going to get beat up on the playground. This match accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
Very hate-inspiring.
Yeah, thumbs down.
The dress-wearing Freak faced William Regal. Again, Regal is so great that this was Vito's best match since coming to WWE.
All I can think is, why is Regal not on TV every week?
Yeah.
He's, especially, if someone has to wrestle the dress-wearing guy, let it be Regal.
Yeah.
Because he is great and funny.
Yes. His facials were awesome.
Oh, God, they were awesome.
He beat the hell out of Vito.
That was also quite enjoyable.
Didn't hit him hard enough.
He laid a solid thrashing on this man.
He went for a sunset flip. Vito sat on his face and pinned him. And Regal was just great. So, guess what this led to? The season premiere of SmackDown is next week because they're moving to the CW. They're going to have a huge audience as compared to the last several weeks and probably the whole summer. And they've got a huge main event sign for this season debut.
What's the main event, Brian?
It's Booker T versus Vito.
What?
Yes, seriously. Yeah. Booker T and Vito.
Yes.
The season premiere.
Not Booker T and Regal.
No.
Booker T and Vito.
Vito, yeah.
Vito's in the main event of their big show.
Yeah.
Vito.
Sylvester Turkey faced Balls Mahoney, or some man who very much resembled him.
Well, okay, he was not that ugly.
Ty Smith.
He was tubby and had longish hair and a beard.
Turkey needs to stop doing the knees on the ground.
That sucked.
Anything that looks bad, he has to stop doing.
Really, that's a good idea for all wrestlers anywhere.
Well, Vince, you're horrible. Okay? But you know what one of your main problem was during your career? You never filmed your matches, and you never watched them.
That's true.
If you would have watched your matches, you probably would have went, you know what? That doesn't look bad. And you would have had the option of either not doing it, in which case you would have no moves, or attempting to fix them.
Yeah. Well, we can get into this later, but I gave up on improving very early in my career.
I could never understand why you never taped your matches. The only matches that you have on tape are ones I taped for you.
Yes. There's a few more I could get if I wanted, but...
if you ever give advice to an aspiring indie wrestler again, I will immediately cut you off.
All right.
Everybody, tape your matches if you're getting into wrestling. And especially if your match is on national television, watch the goddamn thing and realize your knee strikes suck and your spinning back fist sucks. And do stuff you can do. Turkey's an amateur wrestler. He can do throws, he can do slams, he can do all sorts of stuff. Do that stuff. When you're doing an MMA gimmick and your striking looks like shit, it screams fraud and horrible and misery. Elijah Burke was the best thing about this whole segment, by the way. Finlay faced Lashley. Booker was out doing commentaries. It was awesome. And this was another one where they went a long time. And then the finish was the shillelagh came into the ring, and then the ref found it, and then the chair came into the ring, and the ref found that, and then the shillelagh came back into the ring, and he used it, but the ref saw it this time, so it was a DQ. And I thought, all that for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part was, this was a match to determine who was going to challenge for the World Championship at the next pay-per-view. And what happens? The guy that wins fucked his way in. It was a backdoor win.
He got lucky, yeah.
He
earned nothing.
He won via disqualification to get a shot at the World Championship. And that was stupid. Match was fine. Booker was funny. There was a point where there was too much screaming and pointless arguing, and Booker T, of all people, screamed, "Would you stick to what's going on here?" And it was mostly Michael Cole's fault. He was just bitching about... It's one of his days where he decided that he knew something about the world and was going to rant and rave about racism and shit like that, and just sounded like a moron. And blah, 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 blah. Booker told him to shut the fuck up. That was a highlight. Booker and JBL double-teaming Michael Cole. And hopefully they did it in the shower afterwards, too.
Entirely possible.
Just to add that as well. But it was a acceptable show because there was some stuff on it that I really, really enjoyed, but you just watch and you're like, this show's dead. It's just a dead show.
Yeah. Again, like last week, better than it was a month ago, but that merely raises the level of being bad.
There's going to be people that are like, you guys are always so negative on Smackdown, blah, blah, blah. No one's watching this show. It's not like the show's doing a 5 and we're negative on it.
Yeah.
This show did a 1 last week. And before that, it was doing 1-9. 2. It's fucking SmackDown. Last year, SmackDown had more viewers than Raw every single week.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many viewers they had this past week?
8.
A 1.0 would probably have been about 1.1 million viewers. That's TNA.
It is, actually.
I don't know if it'd actually be 1. And actually, no, it would be more than 1.1 million. But anyway, it's low.
It's low, much lower than it used to be and much lower than it should be.
And there's a reason for that. And it's not just because of all the preemptions.
It's not because we're negative.
The preemptions, hey, don't get me wrong, the preemptions are doing a number on this show. But it's more than the preemptions. This show is driving viewers off, and there's a reason for that. SmackDown, it was the debut on the CW. I would like to start off with a rant, though.
Okay.
Michael Cole. No, it's not a Michael Cole rant. Although he
could have been.
He was horrible on this show. God damn, he was horrible. We'll get into that. The CW, I don't know if you know this or not, Vince. You probably didn't because you're an idiot. But the CW is in HD. Yeah. But WWE is just in mono, or whatever the fuck they call it. Like on some analog tape or some bullshit. So it looked horrible. That's good. I just want to throw that out there.
That was your rant?
Yep, it opened up with Booker T and Sharmell meeting with Teddy Long, ranting about the match with Vito. At least somebody here has a clue about what a shitty main event that was. And Teddy's like, fine. Vito voluntarily stepped out of the match, which buries Vito. Now he's a dress-wearing freak, and he's an idiot.
Who doesn't want to wrestle the world champion.
Yeah, what a moron. On the CW season premiere. So anyway...
back to the whole show, come to think of it.
Yeah, Booker's like, yeehaw! And then Teddy goes, well, your opponent tonight is the Undertaker.
Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, nigga!
Unfortunately, that's not what Booker T said.
No. But he did morph back into real Booker T mode.
He did. He stopped being King Booker with his awesome fake accent and dropped into just being Booker T from Houston, Texas.
From the hood. Harlem, you jackass. It's a Harlem hangover, not the Houston hangover.
You know that was a work, right? Actually, they called it the Houston Hangover when he was like with
Can we move on now?
Fine.
Booker and Lashley versus
Batista
Regal.
and Lashley.
Batista and Lashley.
You should fix that if that's what it says. See, I'm good for something.
Steel Latino was making fun of me for a number of typos in the newsletter last week. I'm not the one that spelled fucking battle wrong on the banner.
Oh!
I didn't mention that till today. Batista and Lashley versus Regal and Finlay was a fine little match.
Yes,
I believe
it was.
every tag team should watch Regal and Finlay beat heels.
Amen.
And be great. Batista's lost a lot of size, but he's still very, very cut. Looks great for a 40-year-old man, but he is smaller. Lashley, strangely, is not.
I was going to say.
It's very odd, this situation here, but I don't know if they've lost faith in Batista or what, but he didn't even get a hot tag. He just stayed out on the apron. He confiscated the shakalele from the Irishman, and then Lashley got the pin on Regal, and that was that. Everything was fine. Everything was happy. That was that.
This is the best match of SmackDown in probably 2 months, maybe more.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
SmackDown has sucked every week for a long time.
I realize that, but the problem is that there are actually good matches that we forget about in the shittiness. And I would think that I was not blown away by this match. It was a good match. And I have to think in the last 2 months there was something better than this.
I suspect you were wrong, but we'll move on.
We will move on. Do we have to have a poll?
No, I don't care.
Of course you don't care, because you know you're going to win every poll. If this were actually fair polls, you would care. Layla came out and did some wackiness, and out came Crystal, who...
Holy God.
There's never been a hotter human on the earth than Crystal tonight.
Thank
I will go
God
as far
for
as say
Crystal.
that. I will go as far as say that I would have booed a Rochelle out of bed for Crystal tonight.
Wow.
Yep. And I would have booted her out and called her fat.
Just cause.
Just for the hell of it. Crystal was out of this world. Just out of this world. I don't even want to read the thread. Everybody, just start your dud threads now. Go for it. So anyway, she was great, and she beat up. There was just everyone beat each other up, and the other girl got involved.
Jillian Hall came out.
Jillian Hall, and I was really mad about the lack of high def when Crystal's top was torn off and her breasts were jiggling all over. But what can you do? We had a Gregory Helms Matt Hardy match for the third week in a row. This is why I said that I was questioning your Finlay Regal match.
Well,
this was also a very good match.
This was very good. You'll know
And
it was also after the tag match.
And I love this feud.
Yeah.
This is a Arena Mexico semi-main event feud that we get to watch every week on SmackDown. It's the foul finish every week.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great. I give a huge thumbs up to Gregory Helms, Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Nobody else gives a shit, and it doesn't mean a goddamn thing for business, but it entertains me.
And that's all you can ask for anymore.
At this point, that's really all I care about, because I need to keep myself going for the sake of this website. Otherwise, we don't want another Carl Stern incident here where I just hang up the boots.
Who would you pass it along to?
And by the way, speaking of a good reason to fucking hate this business, it broke Carl Stern. Think about that.
That is a lot to comprehend.
There's plenty to hate about this business for that one. Gregory Helms and Matt Hardy, as I said, had a good match. And we're going to move on now.
I was going to wonder if you would do the whole
Matt
thing again.
actually won with a foul behind the referee's back, and it was great. By the way, Michael Cole's like, turnabout's fair play. Biggest hypocrite. I ain't going to get on this thing again. Miz did a promo backstage.
This was awesome.
Fantastically annoying.
God, he's great.
He annoyed me this week, so it must have been good. That was a 4-star trolling effort by the Miz.
It was. That's what he does. He does trolling promos.
He does.
And they're great.
He's a living troll. It's his gimmick.
Yay.
I wonder if, like, the Miz is somebody on our board. You ever thought of that? Like, maybe he's Dr. Kingsbridge.
Why no?
I can't prove...
No, because I cannot imagine the Miz not identifying himself as the Miz.
That's probably true. He'd have a giant hoorah sort of...
He would. His signature file would be 8 animated gifs of himself going hoorah.
You're right. You got me. Miz faced Funaki and defeated him. He is now 4-0. So, there you go.
More Miz equals more thumbs up from me.
Ray...
So far, I was loving this show.
Ray did a promo about how he was betrayed.
I did not love this.
They raped my soul, he said. They had a Ray Chavo encounter, which was merely an encounter. They brawled outside. They did this thing over the barricade where they almost died. I guess Ray was supposed to give him a Hurricane Run over the barricade, but he ended up being powerbombed onto the cement, which looked horrifying. Vicky was there, and they brawled all over. And long story short, eventually everybody came out to break it up. But I hate this feud. Mm-hmm. But I will begrudgingly admit that Vicky is getting better, and this was good stuff.
That is the best possible way to put it.
Yes.
They were having this wicked fight. This fight was cool. And then Vicky got involved, and it's not even her fault, but my heart kind of sunk. Just because it reminded me of the whole thing, how it all got set up. But on the bright side, we get to watch Ray and Chavo every week, so things, I guess, could be worse.
At least they're all out in the ring. Maurice of the Diva Search is backstage. She welcomed us back. And even Bradshaw was like, what the fuck was that? It's just pointless.
It was. And of course, they brought her back, and the first thing they do was had her cut a promo.
And a horrible one at that.
Well, it may have been better than anything she did.
Well, actually,
in the Diva Search.
they may have done it because she speaks French, and they were in...
they were in Montreal.
Yeah. Elijah Burke introduced Sylvester Turkey. This was fantastic. He's like, I am here to introduce the number 1 fighter in the world, weighing in at something or other, beating a man in 13 seconds, hailing from Big Bear. This is Sylvester Turkey. And they zoomed in on Sylvester, and he said, I am Sylvester Turkey. And that was the end.
And it ended. They were not seen again on the program.
No.
I don't know what this is supposed to do, but I assure you it failed.
London and Kendrick faced the Pitbulls and Idol and Casey James, the highlight of which was JBL just flat out saying Casey and Idol were green. That was good stuff. And Michelle McCool got on the ring apron for literally no good reason. Didn't play into the finish, nothing. She just did it because she was there, and she just wanted to get up on the apron. So the finish saw... There's a major edit, actually, leading to London pinning Noble with a roll-up. So that, kids, was that.
That was fun.
Then
particularly when Idol and James were on the apron, and it was just the Pitbulls and London and Kendrick going to work.
Then we had Sylvain Grenier versus the Engine. And normally I would hate this, but the Frenchman was so over, and the crowd was so into him. And they were chanting many things that we actually couldn't even understand, and they were going nuts for the guy, and they screamed yay every time he did something, and boo every time the first nationalist, I guess I should call him, a man of the First Nation, as they refer to him in the Great White North. He did a whole bunch of wackiness, and they all booed. And then finally, Sylvain pinned him using the ropes, and the place blew up like they'd seen Hulk Hogan beat The Rock. And it was something else. I was fine with this because
if anything, they should have put him over stronger. As it is, he got beat up most of the time and then escaped with the win.
Yeah, I was fine with that. Cena met with Teddy Long, and they basically... The story is that Cena got a title shot because Teddy had offered him a 3-year deal, so... He owed him a favor, and so Teddy Long wanted Batista, Lashley, and Cena versus Regal, Finlay, and Booker next week, which actually should be a fun match.
Yeah. The
champions of the respective brands in the ring together, and you should have seen Teddy mark out afterwards.
He did. That's the what he did. He marked out. He was restraining a squeal. He wanted to squeal really bad, but he held it in, and then finally he just started thugging and bugging and dancing.
Yeah. This looking back, this show was actually pretty good.
And one of the comment, Teddy made sure that he and Cena were going to go out for chicken and waffles after the show next week.
That I missed.
So that's important.
Looking back, this show was actually pretty good, all things considered. Although I will say, and this is probably why when you first said that I was down on the whole idea, Booker T and Undertaker was too damn long.
That was bad.
It was every Booker T Undertaker match you've ever seen, and it was one of those matches that I hate more than anything else, where you devote 15 minutes of your life, and it ends in just a low blow DQ. That's like DQ. That's like fouling the fans. That's like everyone watching, spread your legs, and we're going to kick every single one of you in the nuts one at a time. And it's exactly what they did here.
One nut at a time.
If I devote 15 minutes of my life, I want something. And I realize they sort of booked themselves into a corner, and you couldn't have either guy go over. But think of something. I mean, this is like, God, we can't have either guy. What could we do? Who's feuding with Booker? Who's feuding with Undertaker? Who could we have get involved?
Yeah, well,
why not have Ken Kennedy get involved, since he's actually going to have a fucking match with the Undertaker to the pay-per-view? No, let's just have Booker kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, and like you say, Kennedy was at ringside watching, and Lashley kind of got involved afterwards. But when the thing was done, it did nothing to build up either of the matches they're going to have in the pay-per-view. It did nothing to build up Booker and Lashley, and it did nothing to build up Kennedy and Undertaker.
This was a failure.
This was a miserable failure. In fact, Booker fouled him. He tried to run away. Lashley came out and fed him back to Undertaker, and then just waited and watched. It was almost like he was announcing to the world, don't worry, I'm only a minor leaguer. I will not interfere with the real stars.
Yes.
And Kennedy was the same thing. He was openly cheering for Taker to lose, obviously, but then when he could have helped Booker and maybe they could gang up with the Undertaker and beat him up, he stayed back because, don't worry, folks, it's the main event. I don't belong here, and I know it. I will stay here at the table where it's safe.
I will say that at least we don't see Undertaker on TV enough that when he actually is on TV, it does seem special.
There is that.
For about 2 minutes, and then after about 5 minutes, the same old shit, you're like, well...
I've seen this match 800,000 times over the past 15 years.
I did not miss that, so... That was SmackDown, kids, and...
It was, I would say, and I think we should say this because we've been bearing it so regularly lately.
She is so hot.
Mm-hmm. That was for Crystal, obviously.
Yeah. Actually, the drop is labeled Rochelle as hot, but
we'll have to reword that one.
Let's be serious now.
This is the best show we watched all week.
Cena came out to open up the show and was very over. One thing I got out of this show is he really should have jumped to SmackDown for a number of reasons. Number one, he was super over, which he's not on Raw. Number two, if he wasn't super over, they can do crowd sweetening. Number three, if he fucks up, they can edit it. And number four, they just plain need stars.
Yeah,
of his
SmackDown
caliber.
so desperately needs this.
He buried Tony Chimmel, and Michael Cole's like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Then he buried JBL, at which point Cole went, ha, ha, ha. And then he said, Cole, you've got no balls. And I went, ha, 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 ha.
So did JBL.
Cocksucker. Oh, yeah. This show is all JBL. This is the JBL show. I think Dave in the newsletter, this week actually, before the JBL renegotiations occurred, he was like, there is now no reason to watch SmackDown. JBL's leaving. And that goddamn sure would have been true. He is so great. He is so great.
He can make the unwatchable entertaining.
Ray faced Sylvester Turkey, or actually he faced Elijah Burke, who replaced Turkey, and they announced that Ray had been inducted into the Tijuana Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's the Hall of Fame I'd like to be inducted into. I was really thinking about it. I was like, at first I heard it and I was like, a Tijuana Hall of Fame? The fucking city of Tijuana has a Hall of Fame. Who the fuck could be in that? Drug dealers? Prostitutes?
Oh, Estillo's going to be pissed at you.
He probably will. But hey, Estillo, let me say this. I'm telling you right now, if ever I am inducted into the Hall of Fame, I would be honored. That's like probably the very top of the Hall of Fames I'd love to be
in. The Hall of Fame of the city of Tijuana.
The Tijuana Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I figure they'd give me drugs and whores instead of like a shitty trophy, you know?
What do you think the trophy for the Tijuana Hall of Fame looks like?
A pill bottle or a syringe. And I'm losing it now.
I was going to say.
So yeah, they had a match, and Ray beat Elijah, which made me sad, and then Turkey killed Ray. Why, you ask? I don't know.
There is no good reason.
There's no good reason.
They're not going to do Turkai and Ray, so whatever.
Idol and Casey James beat the Pitbulls. The key here is they had a London and Kendrick video package. Never thought I'd see that.
The key to that was it was introduced by Ashley, who did one horrible job.
Yeah, James Gibson. Well, actually, no, it was Kid Cash got fired, but James Gibson's fucked now.
Poor James Gibson.
But Kid Cash was fired, and I believe it was attitude related. But I don't know if I read the email that I got on the air.
No, I don't believe it. Not about Kid Cash.
I actually got an email from John Cena, in fact. Big rumor on the board.
Oops! Secret's out.
Yeah, big rumor on the board that John Cena's a source because I said I would review The Marine and not See No Evil. But a source emailed me very shortly after the Kid Cash thing. And the exact words were, bad attitude and potential drug issues, but most likely just bad attitude. Those of you that think that people in WWE know everything, I mean, I don't even think Vince McMahon knows everything. So
I suspect Vince McMahon may not know who Kid Cash is.
That email's from Vince McMahon. Now that I'm drunk, I'm just going to reveal all my sources. Vince McMahon gives me all the news about the backstage goings-on in WWE.
Wow, you should promote that.
Yeah, TNA, my main source is Dixie Carter.
I was going to say Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel, too.
Both, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What other promotions are there?
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, Gabe Spalski.
Actually, people believe that. That's not that big a deal.
Actually, I haven't talked to Gabe in, probably since the last time he was on Figure 4 Daily. What other promotions? Pride. Fedor Emelianenko.
I was going to say Bas Rutten. He's not there anymore.
He's my main source. Fedor Emelianenko.
You actually learned Russian to learn more about Pride.
I did. And also Vanderlei Silva. I know some Portuguese.
Yeah. Very talented man yourself.
If he is, in fact, from Portugal. And what other promotions are there in this world that I can reveal? Noah, Mitsuharu Misawa is my main source. New Japan, it's Antonio Inoki, which is why my coverage is always fucked up. K1, Kazushi Sakuraba.
Yeah.
He emails me regularly with all the scoops from K1.
I hope Dr. Wagner himself emailed you those CMLL results.
Oh, CMLL, I forgot. Yeah, CMLL, my main source is actually the original El Santo.
Even better.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I just get these emails, and it says, from El Santo. It's just all this news. It's
good.
Really,
he's very, very helpful.
And I swear to God, this one's true, okay? I don't know who this is, but somebody subscribes every month for $6.95, and they use the name Vince Russo. I think I forwarded one of these from you. It's always a PayPal notification. You have received a payment of $6.95 from Vince Russo. And every month without fail, I laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, good to see Vince Russo is following.
Isn't that email vinnyru@something.com?
It's like Vinny Rue at praisegod.com. I don't know. That last sip really sent me over the edge.
It did. I think I'm guessing here all the rum settled on the bottom.
That's highly likely. Now that any other questions you'd like me to reveal now that I've drunk about major sources in the
How many subscribers do you have?
We're currently at 33,000.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well here in the Empire.
Wasn't it only
I realize I only have a 2-bedroom condo, but
a few dozen last week,
it's not what you make, it's what you save.
That's right.
I will say in all honesty, and I'm going to say this because just the irony of it is so funny. The other day, we had this gigantic thread where 15 people in the thread were like, I'm quitting at the end of this month, god damn it. Well, we have savaged our old record. We have more people than ever are subscribing these days. So for those of you threatening to quit, I'm afraid that not everybody agrees that the site has gone horribly down.
I believe the saying is, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
No, No,
you want their money too.
No, it's not even so much that I want their money because, well, there's certain people that know that this ain't all about the money, but that's all I'll say about that. But the point is, when Penis Suplex left, and when Dr. Kingsbridge was getting ready to leave, or he's getting ready to leave now, I drove Penis Suplex off.
You did.
I mean, it was a quest to drive him off the board. And when he was finally gone, I was sad. You know what I mean?
No.
It.
There's certain people I've tried to drive away and failed.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, like, in the grand scheme of things, his $6.95 is not an issue. But I was sad that somebody that seemed to enjoy the website, they had an issue with it, and perhaps I was dieting, and it was leading up to the match. I don't want to make excuses here, but let's be honest. I just went ballistic on the guy, and he ended up leaving, and I felt bad afterwards.
I will say it seemed odd to me that it seemed like there were people who were being more offensive than Mr. P. Suplex.
Well, that one really... There was something about the whole thread. I mean, you can say whatever you want to me, but there's certain things that really get me, and some trolls have figured this out. Some are too stupid, and I'm going to reveal it now, so now everybody's going to know, but... I think I'm doing a little better with the trolls lately now that I've started to sort of get my appetite back and everything, but when people like accuse me of being lazy or trying to rip them off, those are two things that really piss me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's never been a day in the last 11 years where I'm like, you know, I could do more, but I'm just going to half-ass it today. I mean, if you don't think the newsletter's very good, that's okay. If you don't think the radio shows have been very good lately, that's okay. But I can tell you from the heart, I really try my hardest. I really try and have a good newsletter every week. I never do a newsletter and go, you know, I could probably do better, but I'm just going to go through the motions this week.
Do you have any theremin music to play for this?
No, but I'm drunk now, so let me just give this rant. I want every show to be the best show I can do, and I want every newsletter to be the best newsletter I can do. And every daily news update, I mean, sometimes like I don't put a photo on the daily news update because I just, quite frankly, don't have time. But I never consciously half-ass it. And I never try and rip somebody off. And those two things, that's the thing Penis Suplex really pissed me off. He's like, I pay my $6.95 and you skipped out on a show. You're trying to rip me off. And that was like, get the fuck out, dude. Just go. I'll give you double your money back. That's why I gave him double his money back.
Yeah.
I was trying to prove a point that not only am I not ripping you off, I'll pay you double to go. Just please don't accuse me of trying to rip you off or trying to half-ass it. Those are the two things that really just get my dander up.
I see.
Now that everybody knows, I can only imagine the threads, but
what are you going to do?
What the hell can you do? Let's get back to SmackDown here. Before I actually, thank God the theremin music's not here. I'd really start to play it.
So yeah, Cena did his monologue.
Have I ever cried on? All right, where were we? Idol and Casey James and the Pitbulls.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we got into that whole rant, but Kid Cash is gone. He was
fired.
He was fired, and so anyway, the finish was he got pinned. They didn't even do a breakup angle.
No, he just got pinned, and that's the end.
Yeah.
And the worst part is now we have to watch. Well, we have to watch James. We have to watch James and Stevens wrestle more instead of the Pitbulls, and particularly Idol.
Yeah,
that's bad news.
I also, I just want to say one more thing here before I get on to what I was going to say about this. Penis Suplex, if you're listening, I apologize for freaking out. In fact, if you would like to come back, just to prove this is not about the money, I'll give you your first 2 months free to come back. It's just to tell you I'm sorry.
A goodwill gesture.
It is a goodwill gesture. I freaked out. I felt really bad that I drove you off. And I feel bad about Dr. Kingsbridge, too, but he ain't gone yet. So maybe when he's gone for a while, I'll... And Dr. Kingsbridge also brought me a lot of joy when I got to put together the troll rating system, which to this day nobody has found the real comedy in the troll rating system. But maybe at some point...
Apparently only you and I picked up on it.
Maybe at some point somebody's going to pick up on it, but for now... So anyway, the other comedy in this little segment here was that I always love the fact that if you turn over a small package, it's impossible to escape from.
Yeah, if you're on top, you're in control, and if you're on the bottom, you're just screwed.
Trapped.
Trapped. It's like the Nudo.
If you do a small package, the man can kick out. But if it's reversed...
you're doomed.
Matt had a match with Chavo, this being Matt Hardy. The gimmick is at the pay-per-view in Raleigh, North Carolina, their hometown, sort of. Matt and Shane Helms are going to have a match to determine who's the better pro wrestler. If ever I was going to cry on the show, it would be right now.
That would be it.
This just brings a tear to my eye. This is what wrestling's all about.
It is.
And it's too bad nobody cares. It's too bad it's just an undercard feud that they sort of give a little bit of attention to.
It's
but
the number 6 program on their C show.
I mean, really, when you do the angle of two men are going to have a match and we're going to find out who's the better wrestler.
Yeah.
It works for two reasons. Number one, for the marks, they get to find out who's the better wrestler. And for the smart fans that know it's all fake, it's like, well, okay, who's going to do the job?
There's that too.
Yeah, it affects everybody can sort of get into it. Like, seriously, which guy's going to have to fucking do the job here? Which guy's gimmick is he's a worse wrestler than the other guy?
That would be Matt.
I was actually thinking about this when Matt lost as a result of Helms running in. I was like, are they actually going to give Matt Hardy a win in his hometown for the belt, or are they just going to humiliate him again?
Well, he's not winning the belt either way.
Well, no, I mean, part of me thinks maybe they'll do it.
He's not a cruiserweight.
It doesn't matter. It's for the cruiserweight belt.
Okay.
What the hell? When has that ever had anything with anything? Except for the time that they did the weigh-in shit, which went nowhere.
I guarantee you he's not winning the cruiserweight belt.
You don't think he's going to win the cruiserweight belt?
I absolutely guarantee you.
Is it a non-title match?
Yes.
When did they announce that?
Well, they haven't. But they've wrestled several times and it's never been a title match.
So the title match would be on the pay-per-view.
There's a rational chain of thought there, but I'm not 100% certain.
I hereby predict on this show, Matt Hardy wins the Cruiserweight title at the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Are you going to take that bet?
Are you bet a 6-pack of Boost?
A 6-pack of booze.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Random, just any alcoholic beverage you can provide.
You know, I was at the liquor store today, and I'm buying some liquor.
I hope you were just sitting outside strumming a guitar.
No, I wish. If my guitar weren't so big, I wish I had a little guitar that was like the size of a Nano that I could just put in my pocket.
I think it's called a ukulele.
But when I used to have a Jew's harp. Ever tell you that?
I think you did.
That's the first instrument I ever played. But anyway, I wish I had a little one that I could push a button and it would expand to full size. That's the future. But anyway, I went to the liquor store and I was about to buy my liquor, and the dude at the checkout stand behind me goes, "You looking for the dumbbells?" And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And I recognized him. He went to my gym.
Oh, okay.
Works at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. I shouldn't say that. Mike Sempervive, I think, works at a liquor store. Nothing wrong with working a liquor store, particularly when you get 40% off liquor.
Remember that time you come home from a road trip, we stopped at Burger King? And there's like you and me and Sonny are the only people in the restaurant, and you go to the front counter and loudly announce, "Hey, Vince, they got job applications up here." Ha, ha, ha. And the girl behind the counter looked at you and said, "It's not funny, sir."
No, she goes, "Sir, that was very rude."
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. I couldn't even make up an excuse. I was just like, I apologize. I was, in fact, an asshole. I apologize, everybody. I once worked at, like, a restaurant.
This show's dead.
It is. Let's just move on here.
Don't go, mother God!
Yeah. Jesus Christ, we're an hour and 10 minutes into this show.
It's a good thing no one's listening anymore.
Everyone's long since... This is like the TNA show where the rating just keeps dropping.
It is.
We're at 0.79 listeners right now. I'm just going to move on before I really just fuck everything up. Mr. Kennedy cut a promo about The Undertaker. For those of you that are listening, the 8 of you remaining, what has everyone seen, Mr. Kennedy? That was a legitimate question for you, asshole.
Oh, okay. Well, you said for everyone listening. Oh,
Are you not listening?
I guess technically I am listening
Thank
to you.
you.
Okay. He's kind of tall. He does one or two really cool moves.
Name one.
The flipping fireman's carry off the rope.
If you consider that cool, fine.
I guess he's not doing that anymore. And the senton. That's all. And people think his promos are really entertaining.
His promos are so fucking boring. His matches are so fucking boring.
His matches are very boring.
He's got a great voice, sure. So does Lillian Garcia. She ain't a fucking SmackDown main eventer. He just came out and talked forever. Undertaker came out. He whatever the guy's name is,
JBL?
Ken Kennedy, threatened to hit him with the mic, and the mic blew up.
That was lame.
Magic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Retarded.
If Undertaker's still going to be wrestling in 2006, can we move on?
Can we put the voodoo behind us?
Must we watch Magic in 2006? Fuck's sake. The Miz faced the Indian. Horrible. The only good thing about this was JBL.
JBL.
They were having an argument about the Miz. And Cole's like, the guy's a great athlete. And JBL said, yeah, compared to you, he is a good athlete. And then he goes, compared to John Goodman, I'm in shape.
Yep.
And for some reason, I laughed so hard at that line. And then Cole's like, John, seriously, he's 4-0. And I was like, wow. He's got 4 wins on a weekly show. Like Cole said it like this was supposed to be, like we were all supposed to, our jaws were supposed to drop. We were slack-jawed that this man was 4-0. And the ranting continued. And Cole's marking out about all these fucking reality shows Miz is on. And JBL's like, who could possibly like this guy? And Cole goes, I do. And JBL's reaction was like, it was the exact same reaction I had. It was just, I can't even recreate it. It was like, oh. Great.
I think you brought up that you hang out with Vito.
You go drinking with Vito. That's
Yes.
your idea of a good time. I fucking hate Michael Cole.
This is a banner show for him.
Even drunk, I'm not like, I apologize to Michael Cole for all the shit I said the last couple
Fuck
weeks.
Michael Cole.
He's still a fucking retard. Sylvan faced Jimmy Wang Yang. Crowd was going...
Jesus.
Cole actually was going nuts about how we had hoorahs, yeehaws, we had the Miz, we had everything else. This is what Friday nights are all about. And I could not have hated him more. I could not...
Hoorahs and yeehaws.
And as soon as he said this is what Friday nights are all about, JBL goes, I'm in hell.
He did.
And I thought, we are in hell together. JBL, this is my Friday night too. I watch this shit. You do commentary on it on Tuesday. You can actually go out and have a Friday night. I have to watch this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Actually, this was not bad.
No, well, no. The
With that said, Jimmy...
people were totally in the gimmick. Jimmy Yang is still awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that he now has a funny mustache and chaps does not hold back his awesomeness at all.
No, I give him a big thumbs up.
Sylvan is no longer the useless pile of shit he used to be.
He's just not great.
No, he's just
no good.
He's just no good now. That is an improvement. And this is going along fine. And then Sylvan pinned him.
Yes. Sylvan pinned him using the ropes.
What happened?
Somebody on the board suggested that he must have sucked more cock this week. And I don't like to make,
Well, let's look at it this way. We can't prove he did not suck more cock
That's
this week.
true. I don't like to make accusations of that nature. I was just reporting something that was said on the board.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, why did Sylvan Grenier pin Jimmy Wang Yang?
I don't know. Unless they're going to do the deal where Jimmy Wang Yang has to fight Sylvan for weeks to get his win back.
Sylvan did beat the Wang.
Oh.
Yeah.
Smackdown, kids.
I never thought about it till just now. That explains it.
You're happy now?
I am. They wanted the comedy of Sylvan Grenier beating Wang.
And he did.
He did.
He beat Wang on national TV.
Then we had Regal, Finlay, and Booker versus Cena, Lashley, and Big Dave. This is if I learn one lesson, it's not that every match should be a 6-man, which I learned that lesson in like 2000. I learned the lesson that Batista's fucked.
Yeah. He looked so bad.
Well, first off, they kept him out of the ring for 98% of this match. Mm-hmm. It was Regal, Finlay, and Booker versus Cena and Lashley, and Batista stood on the apron. Now, first off, it's bad enough that Batista was in the ring for 2% of the bout, but the fact that he was kept in the ring for 2% of the bout in a match with Regal, Finlay, and Booker. This is not, he was...
Yeah, they did not trust these men to make him look good.
Yes, this was not the Indian, Sylvain Grenier, and Vito on the other side.
No.
This was Regal, Finlay, and Booker T, and they still kept Batista out of the ring the whole time. He got in the ring for about 5 seconds at the end, looked utterly abysmal. He runs the ropes. I used to think that Carlito was the worst at running the ropes. He's definitely not. Batista's worse, and there was somebody else on this show, and I can't remember who it was.
I don't know. Batista's clotheslines are awful. His shoulders are awful. His offense is awful, really. And that's pretty much all he had was the offense in the body. And the offense is gone.
Yeah, this was horrendous.
And it's quite clear. And granted, he's main eventing the next pay-per-view. But in their eyes, Lashley is now star A.
Hold on a second. Who is?
Lashley and Booker.
I thought you said Batista's headlining.
No, I said he, but I meant Lashley. But anyway, the point is, to the people booking the show and to the fans watching, it's clear that Lashley is now the top babyface on SmackDown, and Batista is babyface, at least B, maybe C.
Yeah, Batista, life sucks, buddy.
Hope you enjoyed it.
But anyway, and Cena was super over as
Cena was actually star A on this night.
Yeah, he really
by
was.
miles and miles.
And this was when I was watching it, going, he needs to be here forever.
Yeah,
I mean, this is really, this was almost like an A show for once. At least the main event.
Because he was there.
It was a main event A show because he was there. So that was something else there. But Lashley, it ended up with Booker going for the axe kick on Batista. And think about that.
Yeah.
Booker was about to beat Batista, and Lashley made the save with a spear and got the pin.
Yeah.
And
that really was symbolic of the whole thing.
That, of course, sets up the pay-per-view there, and that was that. So the show gets a thumbs up just for the main event. I cannot give a show with this main event a thumbs down.
The main event and the Jimmy Wang Yang thing, thumbs up.
Yeah.